Oh.
Close to taking over Japan!
Hi.
Absurdity.
Welcome everyone to the Renegade Realm podcast. I'm your host, Dreadwolf, episode 59.
Yo, was that intro made by a professional video editor? That was incredible. You must have paid a fortune to get that done. It was so good.
I did. Yeah, in love and hugs. Where's Jonas's reaction? He's like, I made it. What do you want me? What do you want from me? I know what it looks like. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. It's just been a week, and it feels strange being on a podcast. I don't know why. It's been a weird week. But yeah, shout out to everyone in chat. Arcane Realm, shout out to you, bro. Hopefully you get through work easily and smoothly. Andrew Cullinane, of course, Jonas. That intro was all thanks to Jonas. He made it all himself. And
that was so Jonas. I thought that was like a true Hollywood professional, like a Marvel cinematographer that did that.
It was
crazy.
Jonas. Exactly. So thank you, Hollywood Marvel cinematographer Jonas, for doing that. RSJ fan, what's up? What's up?
I honestly can't believe that was Jonas. I can't believe that DeMarco wanted you to only pay him $5 for that. I would have told you to pay him like $500.
Oh.
All right. Okay. If I had an Uno skip card, I'd play it right now. I don't like that joke.
Feels okay, man. What is this? Feels okay, man. Is that something?
Oh. You could have done that.
I think those are the equivalent of Discord little gifs, like Pepe Cool and Feels Good Man, or like Twitch emotes. You know.
But I'm not seeing them. People are just typing.
No, they are just typing it. They are just typing it. It's okay. Do you need a ladder to understand that joke so you can reach it? It's going too high above your head.
I got light no fire Colt. Yes. Colt's been talking a lot about. It went right over my head because I didn't have a ladder. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. You know what? We got Holly, that blue number, returning with worms. They just look so good. That's why you were showing. I'm feeling off today. I'll get back in my groove. I'm sorry, everyone. And DeMarco, Dude, and Assassin, we're all here. This is the panel. This is who we are. This is my first time ever doing a show before in my life. I had way too much coffee. I think that's my problem. I think that's my problem. Anyway, Holly, how are you? Where have you been? What you been into? You've been gone for a while. You just disappeared, and here you are.
Me? Assassin. Oh, I thought you said assassin.
No.
It's like, he's not talking. That latency is real bad.
No.
I'm back for a week. I'll be gone again next week, but I'm here now. So, hi. I was in Seattle last week. It was fun. The end. Stuff happened while I was gone, and I was actually pretty happy that I wasn't here to talk because it was pretty poopy. Jonas is here, and Jonas and I played an epic game of Civ 6. Just the beginning. Yes. DeMarco, I got the deluxe edition for $10.
Wait, what? Where? Where, how,
Aniba.
why, when? A what?
Aniba.
A Huba?
E-N...
Enema?
I'm not here to promote Aniba, but I will because they have good prices. Aniba.
Oh, that's one of those G2A type deals, isn't it? Is that like where you get
I don't
people...
know that one.
Oh, is that where someone buys a code overseas where it's cheaper or something, and then they sell it at a super steep discount, but it's also possibly pirated?
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that I got a code.
Have you been sailing the 7 seas, Holly? Have you?
I haven't. No. It is a site where you can buy things. and I did. I also get my Game Pass code.
You can buy some booty, some treasure.
I don't know anything about that. I'm just a gamer who found a good deal. But anyway, I've been playing Civ 6 and COD and Little Kitty Big City. It's really cute, super janky, but very fun. So, that's it. I'm waiting for the Locust Apocalypse to come. That's it.
Soon, TM.
The Locust Apocalypse?
Soon, trademark.
Is
Soon. Yeah, like any day now.
Okay. That's awesome. I tried to play Civ. That's the one where you have like one big man that represents like thousands of soldiers, and it's like a big map.
You are thinking of something completely different.
I went into it thinking it was going to be like, no. It's like you have like a little like battle man. And he's like, I'm a little battle man, and he is like a representation of like your warriors, and it's just like.
I think you're stuck in a Rick and Morty episode.
They're like batches of them that are moving together.
Right, but it's not like hundreds of people. It's like 2 or 3 little, what's the word?
Jonas said, no. He might be onto something there. The units.
That's what I mean.
Want me to send you a screenshot of Civ 6?
No, I remember it was bright and there was looked like a big map with like a little city, and then the characters were like big.
Jonas, but you know.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Jonas. It's exactly, yeah. I couldn't get into it. I wanted to see blood. But anyway, I'm just a bro gamer. Shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you all so much for being here. Speaking of bro gamer, Assassin, how have you been, man? What you been into? I know what you've been into. Speaking of bro gamer, for the 3rd time, you've been playing a series, flying right through it. Eh?
Have been, yeah. So, for those unaware, I've been playing Gears of War a lot lately. I beat Gears of War 2 in 2 days. Surprising, considering I thought the campaigns were supposed to get longer over time. Guess not, but I am in Act 4 of Gears of War 3 right now. I'm probably going to finish that tonight. And then Gears 4 and 5, probably before Hellblade. Just in time for that showcase where they'll show off Gears 6. Just in time. Maybe. I have no idea if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try. So yeah, that's what I've been playing, and I actually shed a tear, because Dom. Oh, Dom.
Whoa,
Hey,
spoilers! Hey, yo!
People are going to be getting into this game like crazy.
It's been 17 years.
No.
It's been 17
years.
But
it's been 17 years, but you're on the cusp of a sequel, so it's different. It's
very different
because it's a new introduction for slow pokes like me. Just getting into it.
And the thing is, like, I never will agree with the movie's 30 years old. It's like, yeah, I'm 30 years old. I'm not actually 30, but you know, I haven't fucking seen it. Period. I haven't seen it. So it's like, you better hurry up and watch it before someone spoils it for you, because it's gonna happen. They're gonna do it intentionally and say, well, you're shit out of luck, dick.
But that's anyway, not my problem.
It should be. Anyway. No, but I'm glad that you're getting into it, man. That's awesome. Do you love it?
Red, when are you gonna play 5?
I very soon.
At this rate, I'm gonna beat the Gears. I'm gonna beat all 5 Gears before you guys even touch Gears 2 at this point.
You're gonna beat all of them before.
Aren't you all supposed to be playing together?
Yes, and it's funny. I'm actually going. I'm actually making good progress on tactics. So yeah,
it's
and it's
good,
funny,
isn't it?
It's so good, and I was like,
okay.
I was like, Holly really needs to play this, and I was like, I wonder who else has played this but me. And I went and checked my stats. I was like, oh, Holly has like 100 hours in this game. I didn't know that you played it. I was like, well, fuck. Everyone's played this game but me, apparently. Like, everyone has played this.
This is the game that I like fired up my old laptop and it fried it, and then I had to wait a year for it to come to console. Yeah.
That's right. I remember you telling us that story. That's right. Shout out to Lotus Esprit. Thank you so much. I don't even think they're here. I tried to message them in chat, but thank you so much for the $20 super chat.
XCOM?
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You rock, Lotus. Thank you. Yeah, it's it's got some cool like new little nuances. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. But, like, it's really cool because, like, the Overwatch mechanic in Gears Tactics versus other games like XCOM, it can really turn the game into, like, a full-on little Gears battle because things start popping off, literally. And it just... it feels very fresh for an XCOM type game.
As I'm guessing, it's not as unfair as XCOM. You don't have a 75% chance.
You're not like this, and you're
blank, and then they go.
No game is bad.
It's
Except
the
XCOM.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, I showed you. Did I show you guys that image of the guy with a shotgun pressed up against the alien's face? It's like right here, and it's like 65% chance to hit.
I remember that.
God. Oh, it makes me so mad. Anyway, DeMarco, what have you been into?
You can feel the force.
I've done a little bit of pirating myself, Holly, but legally in Sea of Thieves. So that was a lot of fun. I did some Sea of Thieves the other day, which was a blast. Sunk some player ships. Had an epic situation, actually. I'll make this quick because I'm sure a lot of people don't really care, but had an epic situation where we were trying to unload loot at this port, and I was still on the island, and the person I was playing with was starting to sail away. There was the second big ship, the middle-sized ship that was coming in, and they didn't know I was still on the island. So I ran up to a peak, and I started just getting on a cannon as the person I was playing with had completely beached the boat, and they're trying to get at this situation. And I was Hail Mary firing cannons from up above on this big ship, and we ended up sinking it. It was wonderfully fun, beautifully epic, cinematic as all hell as I rained hell from above. It was excellent. And I also played some Civ with Jonas, which was a lot of fun. I played as America, as of course needed to spread some freedom and democracy, Helldiver style. Jonas played as Norway, and we got, I would say, decently far for one session. But now that Holly knows how to play and has the game, we're gonna be doing some all-out war, some true warfare.
His wall.
His wall. Yes, that's fantastic. Well, I've been into a couple things. I finally decided, I am so done with Souls-like games, like, unless they're very special, like Elden Ring would be like an exception. Oh my god. I tried to play The Surge this week, and I was like, I grinded in the beginning area of that game for 4.5 hours straight, and I got a basically infinite XP. Leveled up my character. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this game a little bit easier now. If I know anything about Souls, like, doesn't do anything to your stats, has nothing to do with your stats. All it is gear based. And I was like, I was so frustrated. I was like, why am I doing this?
That one.
It's like a post-apocalyptic, I want to say cyberpunk-ish, but it's not like in a cyberpunk city. It's just like in that era where
That sounds cool. Yeah.
You should try it.
What are the enemies, though?
The enemies are people with big, like, cybernetic metal arms, but it's not like they're in their arms. But and the way that you get gear is by severing body parts. So you had to, like, target their body parts, and whenever you use a finisher on them, you'll like decapitate their head, and then you'll pick up their headgear and stuff.
The retainers?
It's really, yeah, exactly. You take out pop them out. I need those. But yeah, I just stopped, and I was like, let me try Mortal Shell. I tried Mortal Shell, and I was like, I don't think I can do this ever again. Like, I just cannot do Souls-likes anymore, and unless it's something that I'm so in love with that I can really focus on. Yeah, I tried Lies of P, and I was like, fuck this game, man. Like, I just can't do it anymore. And it's
I think that style of combat is getting very boring for me as well. It's just that when unless it's something special, like you're saying, like the Jedi series for me. Exactly. It's a Souls-style combat system, and I like it because I'm swinging a lightsaber around, and I can get super into that. But to play some of these other games, even if they're in cool settings, and it still just boils down to B to roll, X to attack, like, you know, triangle to do a heavy, whatever it is. RB, RT, square to attack. That's an action game.
It's the artificial difficulty that they put in it that I don't appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of extreme ones that are, it's like, well, if you're not a hardcore hardcore Dark Souls, whatever, right? You're really gonna hate this. Lies of P
yep.
was very difficult, right? And it's not like you can just go in and turn on an easy mode. So, I don't know.
And to be fair, that's exactly what those fans like about those games, though.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fine, right?
Right.
But it just limits your audience, right? So, or there needs to be
the irony-
other ones that have that.
The irony that Holly says that Lies of P is difficult, I have always hated Souls-likes until Elden Ring, so I gave Lies of P a try. And I thought I was going to hate it because it wasn't Elden Ring, because Elden Ring took what made all the other games so special and combined it into one. Lies of P is pretty much going back to basics. And yet that's the only Souls game that I've ever beat. I don't
beat
know.
Elden Ring?
I did not know, because there were so many other games that came out this year that just caught my interest. I mean, again, another game in the back catalog I want to get back to. Lies of P is not that difficult if you know the playstyle that you want, and Red, you said it yourself. If you grind, it gets easier. I guarantee you that if you did 4.5 hours in Lies of P instead of the Surge, you would have had an immense difference.
Yeah,
And
I'm
also,
sure.
In Lies of P, you also have special weapons that a lot of other Souls games they don't. You just have the standard sword, standard warhammer or whatever, and you just leave it at that. But again, Lies of P and to be fair, Lies of P actually has a good story that you can actually get into. Whereas the Souls
I've been
games,
watching
you have
somebody
to
play
find
it.
the lore.
Yeah.
Which one?
Certain games I just would rather watch somebody play it than, because I tried it for like an hour and I just went because there were too
Yeah.
many other games because it came out around Starfield. So I was like, I'll get to it later or something like that. And then I just got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch somebody play this. It's been totally fine. Much more enjoyable
Yeah.
for me.
Colt says Gears collection on PS5. Why? Why are you saying those kinds of things? Stop saying those kinds of things. Is that true? Now I'm gonna be questioning that the whole time. Master Chief collection on PS5. Is that what you meant?
It's true.
I don't know. Is it true?
I think so.
All right. Well, there you go.
Legacy titles. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see. That'd be a weird port. Anyway, speaking of port and weird, let's just do this thing. So, hey, Square Enix, this is the big news of the week. Right afterwards. I mean, what about, right? There's so much about Square Enix that happened this week. The bad news was that they laid off a bunch of people. So the layoffs are just continuing to roll on downhill, and it just keeps on happening, baby. And it's sad and it sucks. And apparently there is going to be more and more and more as the year goes on, because the gaming industry right now is an absolute shit state. And Colt last night was talking with Mag, and they were talking about when Sarah Bond went and spoke with Bloomberg. She had an interview that I'm sure everyone has seen at this point, and her response was just so nothing about why the studios got shut down. And Mag brought up a reasonable replacement answer for that, which she should have just said, gaming industry is in a bad place right now and we're trying to consolidate, and it's sad and it sucks and we're all sad and we hate everything. Wouldn't have fixed anything. But that is the case right now with the gaming industry. A lot of moving parts, a lot of things changing, and they're trying to make room, and it sucks. People are losing their jobs, so that sucks.
I was seeing people, in regards to that interview, I was seeing people saying that she is responsible for hardware. So they put her in that interview, and then she immediately, or at that point in the interview, got asked about games. And people were saying that it was poor on Microsoft to send her in for that interview if they knew that was going to be one of the questions. And they should have, if they didn't, they should have expected that to be one of the questions because of the recent news and prepared a better answer for her, especially if she's not as heavily involved in that side of it as in that decision making as some might have thought. I don't know the validity to that, but that's what I saw some people discussing online.
That sounds like
Yeah.
something Microsoft would do.
Yeah, I mean it sucks. All of it sucks.
Is
But
it-
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know people like Paris, for example, really respect her, because of course you have a person of color, like a woman of color, that's there and is a strong representation. Because Paris had sent out a tweet where he said, you know, this is it means a lot, you know, especially for someone like me, that kind of thing is achievable. So, you know, I don't know if the general sentiment around Sarah Bond, if people just hate her because it's the popular thing to do right now, or if she actually is right or wrong for the position. I'm not sure on that front, just because I haven't looked into her pedigree and the actual decisions that she's responsible for. But it's a shame if she's kind of getting thrown under the bus, and she really doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I think it does indeed come down to she should have been coached a bit beforehand, and she was like a deer in the headlights. It sucked. She was doing like a lot of like, and I was like, okay, she is just all over the place, man. Like I kind of felt bad, but what are you gonna do? But so, and shout out to world-renowned GeoHound who says, "Yo, what up, long-time X&C fan? Remember you from a show. This is my first time here. Much love to you all. Thank you so much, world-renowned GeoHound." And shout out to Abdel. Abdel, I see you all over the place. Thank you for being here as well. I saw some other people, Jax82, seeing some people who are becoming regulars here on the show. I really appreciate you. Be sure to hit the like button and tweet us out. Tweet us out on the Twitters if you have that kind of thing. Okay, so besides the layoffs, Square Enix apparently is aggressively pursuing multi-platform releases. And Marco is very excited to talk about this because we love to hear. I think I'm all about like, hey, you know, more games for more people. On the other hand, people would say, well, what's the point in choosing between the two boxes to play on if you're a console gamer? As someone who just plays on PC, mainly or mostly, DeMarco, you would say, doesn't really affect me. It's whatever. I'm tired of hearing about it. Exclusivity, blah, blah, blah. However, Assassin, I want to hear your thoughts about Square Enix and what's going on with the multi-platform thing. So this, essentially, for people who don't know, they had 4 pillars that I'm not even going to bother reading because it's boring shit. And it's basically them saying that they have 4 pillars, 4 goals as far as multi-platform and how they want to pursue that aggressively. People are running away with this. They're bringing Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 16, which has been rumored, to things like Xbox and whatnot. So what's your takeaway from all that there, Assassin?
Before we go into takes, I do have more information regarding it as to why they're going the multi-platform strategy.
Yeah, share it all. Share
Let's
it out.
see.
Share it all. Spread it.
Their financial performance in the financial year ending March 31st, 2024. Despite the sales of Final Fantasy XVI, the Pixel Remaster, Foam Stars, and Rebirth, Square Enix saw a significant operating loss of 8.1 billion yen, meaning $51 million. Not to mention, while Final Fantasy XVI was meeting sales expectations in the month that it launched, it failed to meet the year expectations. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also has sold a lot less than the remake, or part 1 of the trilogy. Foam Stars, practically non-existent. Specifically, they mention a loss of revenue in MMO, mobile, as well as high production costs to AAA gaming, specifically the HD group, meaning Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 16, Pixel Remasters. Basically, the exclusive deals that they've been working with Sony on have not borne very much fruit. Now, a lot of people would say these exclusive deals are good for Sony, but that's not the point. The point is, it's not good for Square Enix. And that is the problem. They are now choosing to put their games on Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC day one. Honestly, after seeing what's going on with Capcom Red, you and I have talked verbatim about this. Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Persona from Sega. All these Japanese franchises, putting them everywhere, has expanded their audience and is expanding their sales. Square Enix is finally learning that lesson. Hey, if we just limit it to one platform, we're not going to grow. Sales-wise, audience-wise, any-wise. Putting your games on Xbox, on the next-gen Switch, on PC, and on PlayStation Day 1, that's how you maximize return on investment. I'm glad Square Enix is finally going that route. And that's not the best part. This part was also glossed over a little bit. Square Enix is also talking about bringing back certain franchises that we haven't seen in years. Me personally, I want to know what Parasite Eve is about, because apparently that's a survival horror RPG tactics game. Sounds right up my alley. But hey, I mean, I'm just... I've always loved Square Enix games, but I've never loved their business sense. I never did. I've always agreed with DeMarco that third-party exclusivity is dumb. All your games should be everywhere. Doesn't matter. I'm really happy with this move, and I hope that all of you guys are happy with it too.
Yeah, Abdel says, I bought Persona 5 3 times on Xbox. Talk about supporting the devs. Oh my god, I love you for saying that, Abdel. Persona 5 is the best. Matt,
I just bought Persona 5 on Xbox today, ironically. I just ordered it.
Oh my god, bro, I'm so excited for you. It's the best. Abdel, tell us as and how that Persona 5 is the best. Holly, what do you think about the Square Enix news and stuff? Do you think this is good news? Should people be excited? Are we finally seeing the winds of change start to blow leaves around in lots of grass, or is it blowing around dirt and gravel? That was a weird metaphor.
I just think that, every company does what's good for them. And for a long time, what was good for them was to, sell the rights to a lot of their games, which is what they did. But Sony is not just Sony, not just Square, everybody, right, is having some struggles with the cost of making games versus the money that they can get out of their consumers, and even probably through buying getting these exclusive deals with these partners, right? They're probably offering a little bit less because they have smaller margins. So I think it's perfectly reasonable and perfectly wonderful that all of these games should go everywhere. I do agree. Third party should always be everywhere. It makes no sense to money hat them into any single platform. I don't really care which platform it is. But just remember, Square isn't doing this out of the goodness of their heart for anybody else but their wallet. So don't think this is like we heard you and you were right. It is, we didn't make enough money and now we need to figure out how to fix that, which is fine. It benefits all of us, right? But there's a little perspective on it just to remember.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are starting to see that now, especially what happened with Xbox. Like, they're not your friends. They are a massive company. And I'm not saying, everyone thought that way, but there were a lot of people that were still convinced that,
they're loyal to the brand.
That they're loyal. Right, and we could say that, with what's happening with Microsoft right now, a large consensus is saying that this is more of a Microsoft decision, where the people who are trying to handle it closer to the ground are being undermined by, or not undermined, but overmined. I don't know. Overruled. Yeah. Because of Satya Nadella and whatnot making business, because they're looking at the numbers. Sidestepped, sideswept, windswept, sidekicked, dropkicked. There's a lot of things that's been happening. So, but yeah, they didn't just come out and be like, you know what? We just want to give you guys a little treat, little Square Enix treat right out of the Square Enix little pocket, little coat pocket here. Look what we got here. We got a nice little Xbox port coming your way or whatever. Anyway, DeMarco, do you care?
Look, when more people can play, we all win. That's always been my sentiment. That's gonna continue to be my sentiment, and this is an example. Now, Holly's completely right. Like you said it perfectly. This isn't for us. It's not a revelatory thing that they're looking and seeing. Oh well, all the fans want it, so we're doing it because that way. It's not. It's because they want more money, and this is the avenue that they think they can get the more money. So they're gonna go that way to get that money. You know, chase them dollar bills, and good for them. If it means we get better stuff, then good for them. But what I will say is, all this just sort of reinforces the fact it's not going to be long until PlayStation does it, starts doing it more and more and more, and then their games start coming to PC day one. Xbox is already doing it. These third-party companies are already doing it. I don't know how some deals still happen, like when Arkham. Shadows over Arkham or whatever it's called is a MetaQuest 3 exclusive. Like, that is the VR exclusivity is the dumbest thing in the world because not enough people already own VR sets, and you're gonna be like, all right,
very niche.
We have this much of a market, and we're gonna sell it to this many people. It's like, okay, great, but anyway, I digress. You know, that stuff is gonna it's going to transfer more and more to PC, and I'm excited for that, and I'm glad for that, and Xbox too. I shouldn't say just PC, because I genuinely do mean when more people across systems. I think if you're playing on your Xbox or you're playing on your PlayStation because you like the feel of this controller or that controller, I don't give a damn. Or you like the feel of a nice good old keyboard and mouse, that's awesome for you. But the more that people can play, the more that we can win as gamers.
Wait, so you don't want Nintendo to embrace PC as well? Because you didn't mention them.
Well, Nintendo's sort of in their own little bucket. I've always said this from the get-go, right? Nintendo, and I think there is. I would love to be able to sit down and play Mario on my PC. In fact, I was actually just before the show. I was playing
Mario.
No, I was playing New Super Mario Brothers on my Nintendo DSi, which I still have. You know, like, I wish that I could just sit down and do that on my computer. I wish I could play Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers on my computer. That'd be awesome. But they are in their own little pocket. And
it's funny that you call him Mario.
Mario?
He's sticking true.
It's Mario.
He's sticking true to his
It's
Italian
Mario.
roots.
No, Mario.
Listen, it's Mario. I mean, come on.
Mario.
Look, it's Mario.
I go and I play Mario.
Okay,
Please.
so anyway.
Kill it with fire, please.
So anyway, although I'm busy playing Mario, Nintendo. No, I want everything to come to all. Like, that would be my dream come true. My hallelujah, my nirvana is all of these games existing everywhere, and I could go into the other room and I could play on my PlayStation, and then I could take that game later on in the same day after I finish a long hard day of work, and I come in and I start playing that same game in the same save file on my PC. Then I bring that over to my Xbox and then to my Nintendo Switch because I'm playing on the go, and that's glorious. That's glorious purpose, as Loki would say. So that's what I want to see.
Glorious purpose. Yeah, I remember that.
Glorious purpose. It was a good show also, so you should watch Loki.
I need to try it again because I was like,
Very
what
good
the flark is happening?
And Deadpool and Wolverine is going to tie into it, so it's worthwhile. Not just because of the tie-in, but just because it's a good show. And
I've been watching.
double whammy.
See, my leak says, and Square won't do well on Xbox. We are used to not playing their games and don't want to play their games, especially after Square said they don't need Xbox. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I beg to differ.
Who said that?
That's
leak.
my leak. You know, that's just their humble opinion. But I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
I hear that you're saying things.
Okay, this is my fear too. This is my fear that once Square Enix starts putting their games on Xbox, that they're not going to sell well. But here's the thing. In order for a genre to grow on a platform, you need to be consistent. The reason why Persona is doing well on Xbox is because Atlas kept being consistent. They put Persona 3 FES on there, then they put 4 Gold, and then they put 5 Royale. And now look at Persona 3 Reload. Fastest selling Atlas game in their history. Why? Because they put it on more platforms that also included Xbox. It did numbers on Game Pass, so it led to more sales. I bought the game, despite finishing it and playing it on Game Pass. I bought the damn thing because I loved it so much.
I think that's what they said in the boardroom as well. They turned around, they were like, if we do this, Assassin's gonna buy the game, so we have to. And they all went, yes, very good, yes.
Hey. And I would love to think that that's what they said, but no. The thing is, when it comes to JRPGs on Xbox, you need to keep bringing them over to grow the audience. That is the main issue that Xbox is gonna have to deal with. How do they market a JRPG on their console to the people that are like, no, I only bought this for Halo, for Gears, the shooters, what RPGs like Fable and Clockwork Revolution and Avowed? How do they sell those games to Xbox players? You don't really have to. They're already there. You think that some people just left playing Final Fantasy on PlayStation, switch to the 360 gen, or switch to Xbox One or Series X, and don't want to play those games? I mean, there's a good portion of Xbox players who do want to play those games. They just haven't been heard. And like you guys said, they're not doing this because they hear us, they're doing it because of money. But once Square Enix starts putting more of their games on Xbox, that audience will grow. And once that audience grows, the return on investment will come in, and it'll just keep going back and forth, back and forth. More sales, more customers, more sales, more customers, and keeps going back and forth. That's what Square is hoping for when they put their games on the next Switch, on Xbox from now on PC day one, everything day one. That's what they're hoping for. So while I may continue to sell people like Red and Holly and DeMarco on games like these, even though I know they never will, it doesn't mean I won't keep trying. Eventually we will get that audience and we will get there. So respectfully, Malik, I don't agree with your opinion. We will get there.
I thought you were going to say something like, respectfully, Malik, go fuck yourself.
Respectfully, your opinion's wrong and I hate you.
No, thank you for the input, Malik. We appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Matt House says, I hope I'm Matt Haas. I'm sorry, Matt Haas. I love you, and I'm sorry. They're saying Microsoft Showcase on the 9th will blow people's minds. Ponies love playing Spider-Pan. Spider-Pan?
I am not a horse,
Okay,
and I like Spider-Pan.
Okay. Good. Thanks for getting my name right. Yes, I worked at a coffee shop for a long time. See, Matt Haas said all this so-called doom around Microsoft Xbox is bullshit. Us younger fans of Microsoft Xbox just want AAA games. I agree, Matt Haas. It is bullshit. It's a big bunch of bill crap. Is what it is. Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know. But anyway. I mean, I would like to see Square games, Final Fantasy games come to Xbox and stuff, but the point that I do agree with my league saying that is like, we're so used to not having it for so long, that could be like a double-edged, not a sword, something that's not a sword that's double-edged, but in a good way, where we don't have it for so long, and then all of a sudden we had this huge backlog of great games that have been exclusive for a long time. But regardless of what the plan is with Square Enix, with their multi-platform plan, we're not going to see any of that for a very long time. So, but hey, it's something that's happening, and I don't know.
We're getting Visions of Mana this year.
That's right.
That's multi-plat.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox soon, apparently.
That's what Nick said. That's what our friend of the show, Nick, said. Shout out to special Nick in chat. He's not really here. I'm just kidding. Everyone looked at chat. Anyway, thank you to the one person that just unsubscribed. I appreciate your support too. Thank you for being here for a little bit. Anyway, do we have any other thoughts about Square Enix, or it's just it was like the biggest news of this week, and I don't know, any other thoughts? Okay. Well, let's see. What did you share to me earlier about
Butter on a Pop-Tart?
Butter on a Pop-Tart. Yes. Can you tell us about that, DeMarco?
Good. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so friggin' good. If you've never put butter on a Pop-Tart, if you haven't, then I think you should.
Thank you. Are you good, Chad? That's your advice for this week. What was the other thing? I'm sorry, I lost all my notes that I had for the show. That's fucking great. That's great. Helldivers 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation game of all time.
Mid.
Yeah.
Whoa. Controversial opinion.
Okay.
We all know that's your opinion on it.
That's your opinion.
It is my opinion, and I am allowed to have
Yes.
it. Good day, sir.
Exactly. Yes, it's like that song. My hands are small, I know. Is she Irish? She sounds Irish. But anyway. So yeah, Helldivers sold. It's the best-selling PlayStation game of all time. That's great.
It deserves it. It deserves it because you know what I can say. I really respect the developers that are working on it. I really respect the way that they put out a poll the other day. It's these small things that I can really appreciate about and separate the game from the things they're doing, I guess. But they put out a poll where they essentially asked for player feedback. It was in their Discord on how the players felt about the current war bond that they released, which, if you don't know what that is, that's their paid battle pass like system in Helldivers, and it got overwhelmingly negative response for various reasons. Some people didn't like the cosmetics, some people thought it didn't fit the theme, some people thought that it was just underwhelming with the stuff that was in it, and a myriad of other reasons that were offered to answer with. And we have to wait and see how some people said that they were upset the team was spending time to make these war bonds instead of working on some balancing issues, among other things, or patches and stuff
Or
like
new
that. So
enemies.
or new yeah, that is a problem as well. So they are working on that. I think it's just maybe taking longer than players would like with a game that got that much critical acclaim and support and a player base and growth. I have to just say that I respect a studio that put that out there, because a lot of studios would be like, nope, here's a battle pass, this battle pass system is how it works. You guys buy all this stuff, enjoy. And everyone's like, well, this sucks. Like, this is worse than what it was before.
They probably only asked though because sales were down, right? Or
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
contributing factor, yes.
I'm sure they only asked because, hey, we didn't sell the projected number of these. Why isn't this happening? It's not like they're like, hey, this is doing great, but we want to do better.
No, I'm sure.
Right.
Again, it goes back to you're absolutely right. It goes back to what the Square Enix
But
thing,
it
right?
is good they asked, right? Instead of just whatever. But yeah.
I think I tie it to, for example, Fallout 76's system, where they completely overhauled how their challenges worked. And I know that they probably got feedback from some insiders in their beta program.
This one is not as good.
Exactly like that. And so I guess the hope is they would consult the community at least a little bit before making some of those changes. And even though it might be for the wrong reasons that they're asking, it gets the right result.
Yeah, and you can't just change things mid-season on anything either, right? It's just, you're stuck with what you have now, that's fine, but you hope that the corrections are made for the next time.
Right.
It must be a lot of scrambling though, because in all reality, those seasons are, 2 to 4 months depending on your game, and that's a short amount of time to turn around that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with live services, but that, I guess, is a discussion for the next live service failure game. After Suicide Squad that had 92 players in it today, literally 92. So shout out to all those people who are, all those the family members of the developers that are still playing that game. They're like, I like it, son. Or just the devs play testing.
You Donnie Casada, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for this $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate. Really generous of you guys. Yadani Gazada said Holly has the way better version of Aloy's hair today. It is heart emoji. I don't know what that is, and it's on fleek. I think that's what he's trying to say. Slaying. Ted can't wait to show off his soon. Yeah, Yeah, if we get 1,000 subs, I will take off my hat. That's what I'll
We
do.
are over 750 though.
Yeah, I changed it. It's 1,000 because 1,000 is a nice.
750.
There was a 750, right? But that we're at 848, so we're not at 750 anymore. So I'm sorry. Soon though. Anyway, yes. Your hair is looking great, Holly. Am I crazy? It's redder on top, and it's right about here. It's okay. I was like, is that the light? Okay. Yeah, it looks dope.
Thank you, Donnie. High noise.
Okay.
Hi.
So, Lotus says 750 plus inflation equals 1,000. Exactly. See, Lotus knows numbers. That is true. I was gonna grab somebody's chat, and I have missed it completely. I apologize.
It's too late to apologize.
Assassin, what else did you bring something to the tabes tonight?
I did actually. I wasn't gonna bring this up because I thought the Square Enix thing would go on a little bit longer, but this one is near and dear to my heart, and I'm not sure how the rest of you feel about a certain horror franchise called
Resident Evil?
well, yes, it is Resident Evil. We apparently got some leaked info about Capcom's upcoming plans. We are going to get a remake of Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're not touching Code Veronica for a while. I don't know why. Apparently, also, Resident Evil 9 will have Leon return as the main character, since we haven't seen him in a new mainline title, since 6.
Wait,
2012.
Assassin. Wait, where did this come from? Because the last leak that came out not very long ago said it was Chris Redfield. It was.
This
Chris...
is from Dusk Golem. He covers a lot of Capcom leaks.
Chris Redfield makes a lot more sense.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, Chris does make sense.
Chris Rose, and there was a third one. It was like a trio.
Was it Rose? Because they said it was the end of the Winter story.
I hope so.
End of the father's story. End of the father's story.
I thought they just said the end of the Winters story, like the Winters family story was done.
I think they meant like it's the end of the winter season in the Resident Evil.
All right, you get out.
We're never gonna do another game during winter. Go ahead.
Let me double check that Resident Evil 9 bit, but one thing that everyone can agree on, at least on the leaker side, I know DeMarco hates leaks, but this is Resident Evil, so I don't care. We are getting a remake, like an actual remake of Resident Evil 1.
Right.
In the vein of 2, 3, and 4. And before people come at us for this, Resident Evil 1 got a remake 21 years ago. So I think that one's due out for an actual remake, don't you think? Like,
which is
Spencer mentioned, Chris and Jill, Rebecca, Barry, Wesker. I mean, to be fair, there was a theory about this. Resident Evil 1 reintroduces Chris, Wesker, then bring in Resident Evil, maybe Code Veronica.
Yeah.
Bring that bit of Wesker in, and then finally bring the remake of 5, and that, quote-unquote, is the end of Chris and Wesker's retelling story. But, I don't know. You guys go ahead and tell me what you think about Resident Evil 1 remake while I look up this Resident Evil 9-bit. I want to get my facts straight.
Okay.
So who wants to go
the one
first?
where Chris Redfield punches the rock.
That's 5.
Oh my god.
Never mind, I'm excited. I'm excited for 5.
You like that? You like the punch and rock?
Fucking bold.
I'm excited for 5. I'm excited for 5 remake now.
It's ridiculous, that game. It starts off good, and then it's like, what is happening? It gets wilder and wilder. And then 6 was like, let's double down on that. Let's go even crazier, man. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna have 7 characters, 7 main characters, 3-4 campaigns. Oh, and they just like fucked everything up.
Nearly killed the franchise.
Nearly killed the franchise.
Nearly killed the franchise.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
Because
DeMarco,
of 7?
DeMarco, you were all shaky and quaky when he was talking about
I
Resident
like
Evil.
the new Resident Evil games. I like the new one. I've actually never played the originals. I was introduced into Resident Evil through watching Jacksepticeye play 7 Biohazard. And
Nice.
that was how I saw the series, and I said, this looks awesome, and I had already watched it, so I wasn't going to buy it myself. But then Village came around, and I was excited because they were saying how they were trying to incorporate what Mr. X kind of with Lady Dimitrescu. So they were trying to go back to some of those old school Resident. I said, okay, great, I could experience some of that old stuff. The setting looked incredible. It was a mixed bag for me. I thought it was good, but I don't know if it was as good as maybe Biohazard was, because they a lot of the spooks weren't there, even though the setting was creepy. I didn't think it had the spooks. And then they said, didn't they say about that one as well? They did. They said they turned the scare factor down because it was too scary. And I saw stuff like that, and I just got very upset. It made me like, in retrospect, Village even less. But I still like that formula. Although I heard a rumor that the next Resident Evil was going back to third person. So I don't know if that'll change it for me, because I really do like the first person perspective. I think it adds a lot to the immersion and the horror aspects of the game.
It's way scarier.
I
than first person.
honestly,
It is.
it's scary. It's scarier in first, it really is. But then again, in third person, it just fits. Like, Resident Evil is one of those franchises where you can put it in third or first, and either way, it's still good. Not many franchises can pull that off.
You've played the original Resident Evil games closer to when they released, though, right?
I did not. So
Okay.
Resident Evil 2 Remake was when I was introduced. That's when I picked
Which
up
was third person.
Biohazard. Yeah, that was third person, but I have no preference for third or first. That's something that I take pride in. So I played the remake of 2, then Biohazard, then 3, Village, remake of 4, blah, a whole development timeline. And I did bring up the most recent Resident Evil 9 info that us Gollum is talking about. So regarding the setting, Resident Evil 9 was a game set in Southeast Asia on an island in a rural town. They were going for the Resident Evil 4 vibes there. It's been 3 years. The information that he talked about has been outdated for 3 years. So there was some development trouble, which every Resident Evil game apparently has had some degree of trouble. Question is how severe the changes are. Is it a rework of some elements? Is it an overall reboot of the project? Regarding the release, he has said that RE9 will be revealed this summer. And he predicts it's going to be at the showcase for PlayStation this year. For those of you unaware, Capcom and Sony have been heavily associating Resident Evil with PlayStation for years. If you go back and look at their announcement trailers, it was always at a State of Play, it was always at Sony's E3. Not that hard to figure out that if RE9 is going to be revealed this year, it's going to be at the showcase. Regarding the origins of the rumors, never published a location character thing, but it's old info. No idea who the protagonist is. Originally it was going to be Leon, but now he's hearing that it is Chris/Rose. So, unconfirmed reports who the character main protagonist is, but RE9 is essentially going to be revealed this year. They had plans to reveal it as early as half a year ago. The planned release date was January 2025. Does not know if that has changed at all. So if it is going to be revealed, expect it after January 2025. Is what he says. And I'm done.
I'm
Well,
really
Resident
excited.
Evil usually.
And it's good.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Resident Evil usually drops like March, April anyway. So.
Right, and we have to have one every year now. But they're so good. Like,
There wasn't one this year. There's none this year. It's their
Every
first time in 9 years when they haven't dropped one.
I was gonna say maybe this is because 4 did so well, and that one probably
Wait.
took the most amount of. Yeah.
Wait, Holly, you said 9 years? Because
I think so.
they had a
I just
Resident
read
Evil
that.
game since 2017. That's 7 years.
Thought it was
So,
9.
what games did they
Is it
release
7?
in 2015-16? Yeah, 7.
7? Is it 7? Okay. Well, it's a long time.
Yeah, so
It's like
Yeah.
2, 3, 7, 8, 4, RE-verse, and another off thing like that too.
off-brand, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this in as a poll in chat. What do you prefer in a Resident Evil game? First, third, both, or the fixed camera classic camera, which is how the originals are, DeMarco, if you didn't know that. Because in Resident Evil 8, and I actually had this on my list to replay again, but so with the DLC, for people who haven't played Village, I won't spoil it, but there's a DLC that came out for 8 that takes place after the game that allows you to play in third person. And in that third person, in that DLC, they allowed that third person perspective to be played in the main game. And you can switch between the two whenever you want in gameplay, which I think is great. And whenever you have like certain cutscenes, or like certain interactions, like you'll walk up to like a drawer in third person and he goes to open it and it like zooms into first person and he opens the drawer and it works really, really well. I love that kind of stuff. I love when they mix like, for example, Indiana Jones is going to do that exact same thing, except the other way around, where it's a first person game, but you're going to be seeing Indy all the time through interactions, climbing, zipping, swinging, whatever. They did the same thing with Chronicles of Riddick back in the day. Those games were amazing. You're in first person all the time, and then you see your character every now and then. I would like to see more of that kind of stuff come back. So I would be happy if they allowed some sort of optional first and third person. I mean, I would just like that in general. Chat, am I crazy? I would just like to see more options in general as far as perspective, just to give everybody. And again, this is coming from a hardcore Bethesda fan, so I'm just used to that. But so I'm spoiled. But
I have a question.
yeah,
So, let me get this straight. So, for Village, and I've always wanted to ask you guys this, but the topic never came up. Why did they put a third-person mode for Village, but they didn't do it for Biohazard?
Well, because
Is there a particular reason why they never
that
did
one
that?
is so.
it's really tight.
They should not do a third person on that one.
Do you think?
I don't think it would work right.
Is that? Would you agree with me, Holly, that it's tight? It's because it's much more.
Corridors
narrow.
are too tight.
Yeah.
Plus-
It's
Plus,
Yeah.
the game, like, it is a true horror experience, and you just don't get that, like, shock factor when you're running and Jack, bursts through a wall
guess
on
that's
your
fair, yeah.
left-hand side,
Right,
right? You
right.
don't get that, and that's the intention of that game.
exactly. I'll never forget that. That was my
That's
first.
the scariest freaking game ever made. It is
Uh,
so
That was my
good
first.
and terrifying.
Yeah, that was my first VR game I ever played, ever.
I can't do VR now.
I bought a PSVR just so I could play that. And I'll never forget it because I was literally there. It was horror. In the beginning of the game, when you're walking through like the prologue, where it's like the found footage kind of thing, and you're like, "Come on through this old house." I'm like, I am not going in there because VR, for the people who have never indulged in VR, I say this all the time. I can explain it to you. You can hear people talk about VR all day long, and in your head you go, "Yeah, I get it." You don't understand. You need to try it at least once to understand how VR in horror games in VR especially is just something special. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah. I don't think third person would work. Not that it wouldn't work. I just don't think it would work very well, especially whenever you're walking around the house in Biohazard.
I guess that's kind of fair. I mean, it just felt odd to me that Village got it, and I mean, Village had its fair share of tight, narrow corridors as well, especially that boss fight with Lady Dimitrescu down in this. I think it was the wine cellar, because that felt cramped, but I don't know. Maybe maybe Capcom could maybe remedy that somehow. I mean, I have.
They might have also
It's
just
just
judged
not-
it based on the player counts at the time, so they just made the judgment call to say, hey, the time it would take in order to do this is not worth the investment, because, you know, yeah, it might bring some players back, it would be cool, but we'd rather, and I would actually commend them for this decision if they just turned around and said, we'd rather just work on an RE5 remake, or put those resources towards the next Resident Evil game. I think that's ultimately the smartest decision. As cool as a mode as it is to have that option, you know, it's fine that it's only in the one. They don't need it in all. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool to have it.
That game had a very niche, specific style, and that's the intention of the game. And I wouldn't want them to add it just because all the others had it. You have to have it too, right? Like, they all have a different play style. They all have a different feel. They all have, you know, and like they all have varying shades of horror. And that one is like pure horror, right? So
Yeah.
I think that one just fits it.
And it's funny because whenever you play Resident Evil 7, if someone just said, play this game, and you just started playing, you could be like 7 hours in and have no idea that it's even a Resident Evil game. It's like so completely far apart from what we're used to. But as far as Resident Evil 9,
Meta My Seat.
who is
The
it?
Mega My Seat. That's what the things are called in Resident Evil. The Meta My Seat.
Mega Mice.
The Mega
yeah.
My Seat. The Meta My Seat. The
Yeah.
Ultra Mega My Seat.
Yep. It's such a weird, I don't know, Japanese lingo in translation can always be fun. That's why we get games
Mycelium,
like...
isn't it? Mycelium?
It's just a bunch of made up words.
All words are made
Get
up.
it right, DeMarco. It's lore. What do you want me to call him? Aragoo?
I just remember. I remember looking, like, I watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough of the Village DLC, where it explores a lot more, like, what is the Metamycete, the Mutamycete, the, you know, and they just have all the varying terms, and he's reading this notes, and you could tell he's just like, he openly calls it out. He's like, I have no idea what the F is going on. As he's reading, like, all the lore and exposition dump notes, he's like, alright, so the Mutamycete makes the Megamycete affect the regular Mycete, but if you can't have a Megamycete unless you have the Epimycete. It's like,
The mommy mycete and the daddy mycete made up
Aw.
the RV mycete.
it's
made a baby
literally that
Mycete.
it's genuinely that obtuse.
When a mommy mycete and a daddy mycete love each other very, very much.
Yeah, so as far as open world-ish, I honestly like what Village and 4 did really well. Honestly, what all of them have done really well recently, like with two, I guess I'll just say 2, 4, and with Village, I would say that's about as much open world as I want in a Resident Evil game. Like, it works really well. I love the Metroidvania aspect of backtracking and getting into, you guys, you know, we all love that. Dead Space Remake did that so, oh god, it was so perfect. So perfect. Dead Space Remake nailed that Metroidvania feel where you haven't been to an area for like 10 hours and you're like, oh my god, I just got a level 3 key card, and you're like, I'm going back, and you go back and you see all this stuff that you haven't seen before because of the way the enemies spawned. There was some sort of tech that they were using with Dead Space Remake where the enemies spawned differently, so it wasn't the same experience each time or something. You remember, but I love that. So I don't know how open I would want the Resident Evil, but I think 4 did it really well. 2 did it really well, just in the one big mansion. So I'm assuming that the 1 remake would do something very similar to 2. I mean, I don't see how it wouldn't be. They're very similar in general. But so anyway, I'm gonna end this poll here, and it looks like the winner is both first and third optional. But under that, people do prefer third over first person, and no one. Well, some people wanted the fixed camera classic, but That is just an old style. I've played Resident Evil 0 day before yesterday, actually. And, man, them tank controls don't feel good. Don't feel good. You really got to get used to it. But,
Play RE5 and punch some rocks.
that's what I'll do.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm playing too much. I started over, so I had 20 hours in Stalker. Okay, 20 hours. And I got to, like, near a couple missions from the end of the game, is what I assume. It's from what I looked up. So, last night, I was like, F it. I deleted my save from the cloud, from Stalker 1, and I just sped run, and within 2 hours, I got back almost to where I was in 20 hours in the game. And a friend of mine was like, I want to see the game. And I was like, make a Discord account. And then DeMarco jumped in. He's like, what's happening here? Stalker, man, I'm so excited for Stalker 2. So Jonas says, but Red, I thought you loved Devil May Cry. Fixed camera. Yeah, love Devil May Cry. I do. But not when you're shooting. That's when it feels weird. Devil May Cry works very, very well. Devil May Cry was actually another Resident Evil spiritual successor from Capcom, and then they changed it to Devil May Cry, by the way.
It was supposed to be a premise for Resident Evil 4 before the game came out, but it changed from the original vision so much that Shinji Mikami actually recommended that they make it a completely different entry as a new franchise. That's how Devil May Cry was born. As one of the many Resident Evil 4 pitches, as well as Onimusha as well. That one was another one.
Oh, that was another. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Very similar. Yeah, you're right. Very similar with the camera and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically Resident Evil in ancient Japan. That's mainly the premise of Onimusha. But, sorry, I went to go get something to eat, so what are we talking about now?
We're talking about Stalker. I was just saying that I got so mad. I got so fed up with waiting for a patch to fix this old ass game. And I was like, you know what? I love this game so much. I'm going to see how far I can get caught up to where I was in my 20-hour save in Stalker 1. So I sped run. I played for like 2.5 hours, and I got right up to where I almost am near the end of the game. Meaning, like, and I would say, to be fair, like in the next 3 or 4 hours, I will be where I'm at. So essentially, it would have been like 5 or 6 hours. I'm so excited for Stalker 2. Do you guys care?
It looks good. I'm excited for Stalker. I haven't played the original.
I'm excited for it.
But I'm excited for it.
It looks very good.
Neither have I.
Are you guys just
It's
not interested in the remasters because it's just old?
I just heard they were not very playable.
Well, I can tell you, it takes a lot of messing with the controls, and because right off the bat you're like, no, ooh, brother, what's that, brother? And it took me a lot of messing with the settings to get it to where it feels comfortable. But I got it,
Dude. People swear by when Stalker 2 was first announced. The hardcore Stalker fans were almost denouncing it because they were saying, there's no way a sequel could be as good as Stalker when you mod it properly and you get all the right mods there to make the game run and play smoother, look a little bit better. They said it's a experience. It's actually phenomenal. And so you had all those hardcore people, they were shaking everybody like, don't be excited for this game. And now I think they're excited for this game. But at the time, those titles, from whatever you heard, Holly, you can mod it and make it something truly exceptional, from what I understand.
Well, I heard they're not playable on console. I will say.
Oh, well, you
PC.
play it on PC.
I haven't heard anything about PC. Yeah. Marco's like, what? What's that?
Wait, what?
What's
You
on
played on
console?
what?
What peasant
Yeah.
box are you talking about?
I just assumed that you were playing it on the
Of course.
high efficiency machine.
All they have
Yeah.
is rocks and sticks over there in console land.
Just banging away at our
You
TVs.
guys are still making fire with flint and steel.
That grass I touched is literally all you play with. Yes.
Have you graduated from the Stone Age?
Matt Haas says, very excited.
You only have 7 buttons on the controller? How about my 50?
Is there 7 buttons on a controller?
I don't know. I'm making up
2,
numbers.
4, 6, 8,
2, 4,
10,
Well, I have an elite, so
One.
you need to add a few.
2,
Yeah, exactly.
3,
12,
4,
14.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 13-ish.
So it was like
Before
14.
you add the back bumpers.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
not,
you
on,
have the
on a
D-pad?
standard control. If we're not using this rich blood fancy controller, you know.
Rich blood. I can't go back to a non-elite controller specifically
hard.
because of the weight. It
14.
feels so weird in my hands. Yeah, go ahead.
14 buttons on a controller. If you're both
what I
triggers,
just
both
said.
bumpers, the 4 main. Oh, I thought you said 12.
If you include
No.
the screenshot button.
Yeah, then there's that. So 15.
Oh
We're
yeah,
both
okay,
wrong.
yeah. So well,
That,
17.
it doesn't do any
technically.
gameplay, so I don't count it. But
That's fair.
It's still a
That's
same
fair.
with, same with start and select. I wouldn't really count those either.
You know, I'm
What
gonna
about
put
the
up a
main button
poll.
to
I'm
turn it on?
curious. Chat, what do you guys? I'm really curious. What do you guys play on? Do you play on Xbox, PC, or PS?
All the above.
And that's gonna be a. And this question is, what do you mainly play on? What is like your
Mr.
You're
Mr.
juggling
Seven?
controllers. See?
No, Mr. 7 Digit said the DualSense has a little weight, still a bit light though. So I was just feeling the weight of the two. They feel about the same. Me.
Here we go. I'm curious to know because it's something that I've never actually asked the audience. I assume Noise says Nintendo 64. I just played.
Oh god, that controller.
I found one of an old Nintendo 64 controller recently, and I held it, and I was like, "Well, nowadays I can reach over with my thumb to mess with the analog stick, but that controller is an abomination. What the hell were they thinking?" It was like in my mind, I'm like, "That was the greatest time of my life," but it's just such a weird. If you limit yourself by holding the middle stick on a Nintendo 64 controller, your thumb, you can't go this way with your thumb to touch them D's, them D pads over here.
Yeah,
Ain't gonna happen. You ain't touching them D's.
Thumb.
Shit.
Tons of Ds.
Yeah.
Good
So,
for you. I'm happy for you.
oh, well, thank you. Let's see where we're at. So PC or Xbox mainly. There's no PlayStation people in the chat. Well, I
I
guess I
got
should
another
know.
topic if you want to talk, Red.
Yeah, please.
I mean, I'll keep throwing out topics as long as you keep wanting me to. So.
Oh, I want it. Throw it at me.
This one came up a little bit controversial because of one of the actual things that you said. Jeff Grubb, I know DeMarco hates Grubb, but he has good information every once in a while. He got.
Marco.
Yes, you do.
I don't hate. No, I don't hate Grub. I don't hate anyone.
Hate
Tell us
me
how you feel
anyway.
about him.
He's a person who does person things. I don't really have an opinion. Like he's fine.
He eats and he sleeps.
He
you
sleeps.
know?
Sometimes he poops.
Okay.
Sometimes he pees.
Sometimes he pees and poops
At the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah,
He plays
so
video games.
Standing up.
standing up. Let me ask a question here. Okay, when you guys wipe your butt, I have heard this so
I'm sorry,
much.
wiping your butt.
Okay, I have
You
heard
don't
people
use a
say
bidet like a
what?
civilized person.
That's the thing. Listen,
I
I'm
should
all
go.
about the bidet.
I should go. I should go.
This is Renegade After Dark.
I have heard so many people say that they stand up and wipe. Is that the Holly's face just said it all. I have heard people say, "What do you sit? You're sitting down? How you do it?" I stand up. I'm like, you're standing up. You're standing up, and your cheeks are going right back together.
Jonas!
Jonas, this is why we added absurdity to the intro video. Exactly. Yes. I just want to know. I'll put another poll up if you guys need me to. Do you wipe standing up or sitting down? Because I have heard about this.
Literally
odd-
never heard of anybody doing that standing up.
I've heard it I listen to so many different podcasts in my life, not just gaming podcasts, but and I've just heard, and just in conversation where like people are like, yeah, it's like sitting down and
wait.
wiping. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it a part of the world difference?
See,
are just different in
Please.
different parts of the world too.
My leak said that's disgusting. Standing up. Matt Haas says we do in Europe. Okay.
I agree with Andrew Cullinane. What the fuck is happening here?
Well, this is the Renegade Realm podcast, and if you're new here, like and subscribe. This is how the show goes, and we
Our
are
proud
just
sponsor, bidets.
How can you do it?
Remove
how
the
do you
need.
do it standing
Remove the
up?
need to wipe at all, so you don't have this conundrum and buy a bidet.
I like how
wait,
Mr.
everybody-
Mr. 7-Digit just randomly shows up and goes, "Y'all stand still wiping." Thank you, Mr. 7-Digit, for showing up in the chat. Yeah, when you wipe sitting down, you just lean and you just get in there. Yeah,
What
yeah,
about
get in
crouching,
there.
Peanut Brooks?
What about crouching? I like how us talking about wiping brought.
What
more
about
people.
lying
Thank
down?
you guys for
Jonas.
lying down. We're in Europe. Norway doesn't claim you. Exactly.
Oh, no.
Crouching. Can you imagine?
It's-
Crouching would be
It's
worse.
in this section of Europe, specifically where my house is.
Exactly.
This whole part right here.
This
Just
little-
zoom in
this-
on the map.
This little cul-de-sac here in Europe. Everyone in my neighborhood stands
Mad
up. So
Hossia. That's
Everyone
what it's
does it.
called.
lying
I mean,
down.
Matt house is German for house, so it could literally be Matt's
Right.
house.
There you go. That's very
All right,
true.
fancy.
That's very true.
I'm just
see, Miss-
imitating the
Ireland.
Persona 3 with the fucking evoker to the head, just pretending it's a real gun after this conversation.
Mr. Digit says, "I fold my toilet paper. I've heard some folks just bundle a whole bunch in their hand and get to work."
Get to work.
If you're in a hurry, just like, just like, maybe if you're like a
Whole nother
child.
Conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But I was just curious. Thank
we
you, Jet,
done?
for indulging me
This
on
is
that.
more
Are
interesting.
we done?
This is more interesting than the Square
It
Enix
definitely
conversation.
is. It definitely is. Anyway, are you the standing or sitting culture? So anyway, back to the old topic at hand.
Back
The wiping
to
hand.
Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first order of business, we're gonna do this in sections because I want to get everyone's opinion on these. First one, Perfect Dark. Apparently, Perfect Dark is not in development hell, as Jeff Grubb stated, as other insiders have reported. The game is going through some stuff which is normal for every AAA game. It's actually in a very good state, and we apparently are going to see gameplay at the showcase in June.
This is why I don't
If
like
this-
insiders. Like, this is legitimately the reason. They came out with these reports and like, oh, it's in trouble development. And then a week later, they're like, well, actually, it's not yet. And I'm just keep it here. Just shut up. Just don't say anything. Just let the developers work on it.
Right. Idani says quadruple A game,
what-
sir.
What benefit does anybody get? Does anybody get when the game we don't have a release date for Perfect Dark, right? Do we?
No.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't even have a release date. Perfect. Proves my point wonderfully. We don't even have a release date for this game. We don't know when it's coming out. Is it this year? Is it next year? Is it 2 years? I flipping know. Is it on the next gen console? Is it a launch title? Maybe, probably not. Sorry, microphone. But like, just so you're reporting on these things that are so inconsequential. They are so inconsequential to everybody, and you're just stirring up problems. And the developers are sitting there going to work like, oh, apparently our game's not doing good. Who? And then they start wondering like, who said that? Who thinks that? Because somebody had to tell them. Just shut your mouth. That's why I don't like insiders. Anyway,
So this
Okay.
is why you don't like Grub.
I mean,
But
I
what
know
do you
Grub
think
in this
about-
particular instance is the one that said it, but it's not like Grub in particular. Like, I don't have a problem with Grub. I just don't like the concept of.
Well, see, the thing that Grub actually he commented on what you're saying, DeMarco. He said he should have clarified what he meant by development hell or in
No,
development
dude, I
trouble.
don't give him any brownie points for that because he's been giving insider information for years. He's been doing this for years, Mario, and so.
Harry.
And so he's been doing this for years, so you can't turn around and tell me that suddenly he goes, oh man, I didn't think the news outlets would take it that way. Like, just Do you have more than 2 brain cells? Because otherwise I would understand. So it's just stupidity. It's just pure stupidity, and I hate it. And it's stupid, and it's annoying, and it serves no purpose. And Mario is the right way to say it.
Thank you. I like how that's how it ends. Matt Haas says, "Do you have a hole or a gap where you can wipe?" Like, you stick your hand under the toilet in a hole.
He said, "How do you have room when you're sitting?" And I was like, "How do you have room when you're standing? Like,
Right,
it all
what do you-
compresses when you stand, right?
You don't
Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like then, because then you're gonna have to stand up.
You guys
You're gonna look, stand up, okay? Bend over.
when you're sitting,
Here's the
your
butt.
hips are open. When you stand up,
Exactly.
your hips are closed.
So the cheeks,
Hey.
they go
Hey.
like
What if
this.
you stand
a
up like
diagram.
this?
That's exactly what dude. I'm picturing when people wipe their ass standing up. They literally go.
So what
Hey,
if you have droppage?
hey,
Huh?
What if you have droppage? What if it was
That's what
messy
it's
and
gonna
you
go
have
straight
droppage?
down your legs. So what are you standing in a tub? What do you get? So here's the thing. You stand up from the toilet. You walk over. You hobble over like this and stand in the shower. You wipe your ass there. You're already in the shower. Take a shower. What are we doing here? Come on, America.
Hey.
Europe. Get with the damn
Hey.
program. Yes, Assassin. Go ahead. Sorry.
do you think that maybe the 3 of you can stop talking about this subject while I'm eating, please? Can you at
What are you
least
eating?
respect me that much?
No.
Assassin,
not
we
gonna
know you
tell
poop
you.
too. It's okay.
Everybody.
Are you-
They
Alright.
made a whole book. They made a whole book on
There's
it.
yeah.
That's not
for
the
children.
point. I
Exactly.
don't want to talk about this or hear about it while I'm eating.
Are you eating chocolate
Jesus
ice
fucking
cream?
Christ. No. Okay,
Hey.
now.
Jello.
Chocolate bar,
Jello.
pudding, chocolate pudding.
Drinking lemonade?
Stop.
All right.
I hate you all.
Do you have sausages? Like very, very cooked sausages?
Very, very.
I mean, they're sliced and cooked.
Hey, there it is. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh my god. Very cooked sausages? Oh man.
I mean, they're very,
Great.
very, very thin slices.
Oh
Eat it
man.
too?
With some
Oh man.
cheese, tomato sauce, and bread. But yeah, anyway. Can we please
So
stop
yeah.
talking about this and just talk about
Donnie-
if you can even give a fuck about Perfect Dark at all. Do you even care? I know DeMarco probably doesn't.
I don't remember what Perfect Dark is, to be
Perfect
brutally
Dark
honest.
is what Red called his last bowel movement.
It's exactly like, that's a perfect dark. It's a win for me.
Perfect Dark, first-person shooter,
I
ecological
remember eating
sci-fi,
spinach. Oh.
spy shooter. Kind of like James Bond.
Oh
I
man.
don't know if DeMarco heard me. But okay.
I should go.
They're losing it.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Whew, man. Oh man, a wet baby Ruth, Josama. Oh man, great, fantastic. Hey, listen, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This is the Renegade Realm podcast. If you're new here, hit the like button at the least, leave a sub at the most. We go live every 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. Thank you so much. If you want more poop talk, here's the place for it. Yeah. You like eating ass? We got. Never mind. We're not even gonna. All right. We're just gonna move right on.
I should go.
All right.
Respectfully.
Assassin.
Fuck you. Respectfully. Fuck all of you.
I'm dying. All right. I'm
Look,
literally
you can't
dying.
laugh at a good old poop joke.
Oh God.
You grew up too quickly.
Oh man.
You're damn right
Okay.
I did.
Let's see.
Okay, can I keep going with this?
Risk It says need a new Wolfenstein with a BJ job as main. Yes, BJ
Who cares
job.
what Risked wants anyway?
BJ Jobskowitz, isn't that his name? The main character of Wolfenstein. BJ
Risk
blows
is taking the dig
Gowatz.
at me.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh
you,
my
Risk It,
god,
for the.
I forgot about that clip. Thank you for reminding me, Risked.
Yeah, thank you so much, Risk. I appreciate you, man. And Yadani, thank you also for the Mario or Mario.
Risk It,
You
I'm
can say it
working on
both ways. Thank you.
Pink eye for everyone.
Guys, who said that? Oh man. Renegade real bloopers live in person. Yeah, we actually do that. Do that. No pun intended. I didn't even mean to do that. Oh my god. This is exactly what I wanted. Fantastic. Welcome to the Renegade Realm Poopcast. DeMarc or Jonas says, see you, Risk It. Take care, bro. All right. Anyway, Perfect Dark.
Noise this time.
All right.
My God.
Before anyone asks, yes, she poops. She poops. Everyone poops. So, can you do it in game though? But yeah, Perfect Dark, DeMarco, is a first person spy game. You're basically like Assassin said, you're James Bond, but you're a woman. And that's just
Women
fine.
in my video games.
Yeah, it's just fine. Just fine. Everyone cool down. Cool. Put your guns down.
Pull your poops.
Get your poops out. Pull your pants. Pull your pants
Alright,
up.
I'm gonna stop eating until you all get this shit under control. Oh god. Oh, no, I'm
What was that laugh? I was just ready for it to.
The king of comedy thinks this is hysterical.
Man, Robert De Niro.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, gotcha.
Perfect Dark. Are we excited for it or not? It's literally James Bond as a woman in first person. Go.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yes, and it will
That sounds
apparently have
cool.
third person elements. So I'm thinking third person cover, third person interactions and whatnot. And that
KSX.
unrecord game, right? Exactly. That's exactly right. Like Vegas 2, Deus Ex, that kind of thing. And if you remember the unrecord game, people have said that is, when I say people, I don't know exactly who it was, but apparently it's insiders that have seen the game that says that they're taking elements from that, or that it looks very similar to how it looks, which I don't know what the hell that means, especially for a Perfect Dark game. Seems a little odd. Maybe they just mean like the movement of it. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Perfect Dark because I have no reference other than the old 360 games, which were fun. It's like cyberpunk spy thriller type thing. And there was that leak that came out that I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's fake. Saying that it's about her and her love story with her girlfriend, and that's what the whole story is based around. And people are mad about the wokeism and whatnot, but I don't think I don't know if that's true or not. But
That's fake. She's fighting an ecological terrorist disaster. That's what she's doing.
Okay, that sounds about right. The game's been in development for a long time. So there's that. And Assassin, did you miss the other one? There's another big game coming this year. Apparently, from BioWare.
That's if you all just stop. Y'all just
That what
stop
you're
with
getting
that
to?
fiasco from earlier. That's what I was getting to. Yes.
Please, yes. I'm very excited for this one.
Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Dragon Age Dreadwolf, the next release from BioWare. Apparently it's going to be at Summer Game Fest or around that time. The game is shaping up very nicely. The BioWare team internally is very proud of their work. And it's expected to release sometime within this fiscal year for EA. So think April to March. Somewhere in that time. It wouldn't surprise me if this is EA's holiday game.
I see it. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it because the leaked gameplay actually, I know it was pretty controversial, but I did see that, and I liked the direction that they were going with it.
Me too.
Especially because I tried to go back and play Inquisition several times, and while I really liked the story of it, it just was boring. The gameplay, especially when you're playing as a mage and you're just sitting there like.
And you spin around. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Do that
yeah.
for like 5 minutes in every combat encounter. You can do your fancy spells or whatever too, and you get some cool combos when you get to the late game, and you could use some of your spells that draw them all in. I think it's some of the rift spells that you get, and you draw them all in, then you lock them in the static cage all together, nice and tight and close and cozy, and then you do some massive damage while they're all stuck. So there's some cool combos you can pull off later in the game, but it's just generally a little bit boring. So I like the action approach that they're taking with it, and that's exciting. It's about time they showed it off, though.
Yeah, I played that leaked clip.
They announced that too early.
Yeah, I played that leaked clip that was like 7 seconds long in super slow motion just to get like an idea of what it would feel like, and it reminded me of, I guess now would be like Dragon's Dogma, but it wasn't. Again, there wasn't enough there, but either way, it looked more action focused. And yeah, I think the action needs to be, or the combat needs to be a little more interactive. And going from Dragon Age 2 to Dragon Age Inquisition, the combat is not. It does not feel weighty. It like loses all of its like impact so I agree with you. So I'm excited to see. MBG, what's up, man? He says, "What's up, bots?" And Matt Haas retracted a message. I don't know why he retracted it. It says there are no ponies in chat. He's meant to say a pony in chat. And in this poll, looks like we have no PlayStation people, except for the people who use a bit of both, mostly Xbox and PC. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, play what you want. Love that. Love that for you, and me, and everyone else. Don't join Oh No Looks Alex streams. Oh no, Alex is hilarious. He's a character. He's my brother. No, I'm just kidding. So who besides me and you, DeMarco, who here, Holly, Assassin, are you guys big fans of Dragon Age? You guys ever try them bitches out? Okay. Assassin, you haven't either. So DeMarco and I can just talk about this.
Not tried them, but I'm going to try Origins sometime soon when I get the chance.
Origins is great for its story, fantastic story, and it's really I love the way that they did the worlds in that game as well, because it fits so beautifully with the gameplay, as dated as the gameplay is now. The world itself almost leans into it in a nice harmonizing way. So definitely complimentary in that sense. The way the gameplay, as dated as it is, it has just a certain feel to it, because it does have that clunky nature to it, but the world itself, the size, the scope of it, the areas that you can versus can't explore, the way that you kind of wander around the environments complement that combat system really well, I think. Just the size of the environment, and it's not too tight, it's not too big.
Right. It was definitely
it
definitely was, leaning heavily into what worked really well with KOTOR. Which, by the way, I beat KOTOR 2 again for the first time in 20 years, almost 20 years or whatever, just the other day. Yeah, so that felt good. But I do agree with you. Yeah, the combat works really well for the scope. I do agree with that. And I loved traveling. I love that, like, we're going to travel from point A to point B on the map, and it shows you traveling. And on the map, it's like blood splots as you go across the map, and it's like chink, and then you'll get into like a battle in the wild. And I don't know why I love that. And it's not like frustrating. It's like you might get into like one battle whenever you're traveling, but it's really cool. I love that. So I'm hoping that with Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and I'm actually playing through all of them right now. I'm even listening to audiobooks and lore videos about the whole Dragon Age, because I'm a huge fan. So I'm trying to get caught back up to where I can call myself a real fan, similar to what I'm doing with Gears of War. So I don't know exactly what the plot I guess like the plot of Dreadwolf is a spoiler for what happens in Inquisition, which I didn't know. Even though I beat Inquisition, I guess there's DLC in Inquisition that is like endgame that ties into the sequel, is all that I'll say. So I'm interested to go see what the hell happened in the end of Inquisition's DLC. But I'm really excited for Dragon Age.
I've never done the DLC.
I haven't either. That's what I'm saying. I think it's the Trespasser
really
DLC
important too. Yeah, it's very important story.
Yeah. And I've heard it's amazing. And so I don't know. So
It's just hard
I'm really
to play
excited.
through Inquisition.
Dude, because it's
hard
the
to play through
hinterlands, man.
Inquisition again.
And the thing is, the
I
quest
know.
designer of that game was an MMO quest designer.
Yep.
And so
it
that you can feel it,
plays
you're like,
like one.
fuck, I'm like just trying to get to the other side. And it's like, you have to do all these missions and get up all the
you gotta get your Inquisition points.
the Inquisition points. Yeah, it's like, fuck, man. But once you get past the hinterlands, then it does start to flow a lot
It feels
better.
better, and that's when the story is picking up a lot nicer, so you're more engaged in that aspect of it. But it's hard for me too, because I get those quests that are like, pick up 100 of these stones around the map, and you got to go to all the remember the crystal things, and you find all the rocks, the shards, and I see that quest, and I go, gotta do it. And I start running around collecting all these stupid stones and finding all the little skulls to find the stones, and by the time I get 20 hours in, I'm done. I turn it off. I always get to that one point in the hinterlands where you go inside, there's a little, like, the refugee hamlet almost, and the gates are all closed, and you're like, no, they have a rift inside. I think some people are worshipping it or something, and you go, no, I can close it, and you go in and you close it, and everyone's like, oh my god, and they start bowing and whatever. So I always get to that same point, and I go a little bit past that, which I think that's actually tied to the story. You need to go there for the main quest.
Right.
And then I just go, all right, that's it. I had fun. Goodbye.
And that's all. Right. I mean, I think the most important takeaway from any of this, for people who haven't played it especially, is that this is a big deal for BioWare in general, because we're going to be seeing the fruits of their labor over the past, I mean, it's been 9 years, 10 years now, I think, since Dragon Age.
Andromeda.
And Andromeda.
Anthem.
Bless you.
5 years since Anthem.
5 years since Anthem, and this is their next game after Anthem, right?
And the thing is like, this is a lot more important, I think, because it is a Dragon Age, and it will be another Mass Effect. Like, those are the two big, huge IPs that they're known for that really helped them take off, besides KOTOR back in the day. And then, of course, Obsidian picked it up with KOTOR 2 and all that. But you know what I mean. Like, all the things that were inspired. I'm hoping that Dragon Age Dreadwolf does all the things that they did really well with the other ones. Combat aside, I just mean the RPG aspects of it, because this will be telltale of what is to come with Mass Effect, and that's where I come in and I scream and shout, and so do you, and so does everyone else who loves Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
So I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see it, but if it's coming this year, then we got to see something soon.
If Dreadwolf is underwhelming, let's just say, in for example, one of the gripes that a lot of people had for Andromeda was the choice and consequence didn't really feel that impactful the way it did in past games. So if let's say it comes out like a polished Mass Effect Andromeda Dreadwolf, where the gameplay is really solid, the combat feels really good, the story is fine, the choice and consequence aspect of it is not so great, are you going to have faith in the next Mass Effect, or are you going to sort of shut that game out a bit more?
Yeah, it's gonna make me worried if it's like, I mean, how could you not? Like, I'm already worried about Mass Effect.
Right.
I'm already worried. Like, I will play it, I will buy it, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell everyone that it's gonna be great and you should be excited about it the same way that I said about Andromeda, because I did with Andromeda. There was nothing but, I'm really excited, we're getting another Mass Effect, and I was just so caught up in the hype, and that was the first time in a long time that I was really just Man, I was just so like, and by the way, I played it all the way through, put 100 hours into it, got every single achievement except for the Insanity Run one. And I mean, and I love my time with it. I didn't love Mass Effect for the same reasons that I love Mass Effect in general. It was just a totally different vibe, just set in the Mass Effect universe that was just not the same vibe. It's not why Mass Effect is great. You don't have that looming threat, the darkness, the grittiness. And so hopefully with Dragon Age, it's the same thing. I hope that they stick to what they've done really well with the very fantastical, very, very romanticized fantasy, which is what Dragon Age does so well. So I'm really hoping that they continue that and they don't make it this weird, silly, goofy stuff that they started to do in Dragon Age 2 with like Varric, which I love Varric, and like I love all the characters there, but they skirted the line very, very closely, and they did really well with it.
It was a departure. Dragon Age 1 was dark and gritty, and
yeah,
it was, especially at the time. Do you remember how amazed everyone was that blood was on your character dynamically?
Yes,
and that was this huge deal for the game. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, like it changes and it's in the dialogue, dude. Like you talk and it's still there."
It's so amazing. And you can walk up to your dog, because I literally just put 75 hours and 1000% of Dragon Age Origins just last month. And you could walk up to your dog and be like, "You want to clean up this mess?" and your dog will like lick you and clean up all the blood off of you. And I was like, it makes sense like in a medieval fantasy game where it's like, yeah, just let your dog lick you and it's fine. Like, it's so cool, man. Yeah, so hopefully Dragon Age, hopefully we're not boring anyone with the Dragon Age talk, but we love BioWare.
Very interested.
Holly is super. She's writing an article right now for renegaderealmpodcast.com/article.
Or just because you guys don't like great games isn't our fault. I'm just gonna.
Yes. Shout out to the 50. I can't count. 40 people here or something. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, especially MBG, who is asleep right now. Thank you so much for showing up and supporting the.
Crush your Germans, DeMarco, for that.
Ooh.
Oh, we're talking about civilization.
Count it a day.
Civilization, everyone. Let's see. Rye, the noblesse. I'm sorry. I apologize. Says coming to Xbox will only delay releases without much profit. At least Switch 2 will be worthwhile. Okay. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Andrew Cullinane says Andromeda is better than the entire Andrew Cullinane.
Somebody ban him.
Please. He does this all the time. Just trying to get to me.
Slander.
Give him a timeout.
Yeah, just time me out. No, I don't do that. That's fine. Let's talk about Metal Gear Solid. Oh, God. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Want me to keep going?
I want to say one topic that's not actually a topic. I just want to say a thing that's not gaming related. It's actually movie and TV.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
But it doesn't have to be a whole conversation more than 2 minutes.
Fascinating story.
Thanks.
Any chance you're nearing the end?
No. So now I'm gonna make it 5 minutes instead. So actually, I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes over the weekend, and that was actually. Good. It was actually the Matt Reeves movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. I think that whole trilogy is just a wonderful saga. I think it's prime cinema. And I had very low expectations going into this one, but I highly recommend people check out Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It was fun. It's clearly a setup movie for a trilogy, or just more movies in general, but it does it really well. Remember when the Star Wars Episode 7 came out, and it was like a fine movie, but it had potential to make a good saga, and then Disney just completely butchered the rest of that, and it was horrible and abysmal, and it doesn't exist anymore. So that was a great time. But the first one did a good job of setting up some cool concepts. This one's very similar, but the movie's actually good. So it does all of that, but better. So there's a lot of great introduction. It sets up a unique premise. It departs from the original trilogy in a good way, in a very respectful way. So I highly recommend, if anyone was interested or sort of on the fence with that movie, definitely go check it out. I know it's not gaming talk related, so I apologize when whoever was snoozing before. That's
MBG. Yeah, that's the legendary MBG, the PlayStation King, baby. No. Come
It
on.
wasn't. So if MBG goes back to sleep, I apologize, but definitely go check it out if you're on the fence. But that was my spiel. So
Yeah, no, I've heard
Anyway,
that. I heard that
talk
it's
about
much
Metal
more
Gear.
focused on like the apes and the humans are sort of. It has a good balance between the two, from what I've heard. I heard a review on it.
it's more ape centric, more monkey.
Right, right, yeah. And
Yeah.
what's her name? Siri, Anya
Freya Allen.
Freya Allen. Yes,
She's
is
great. Her character is really, really cool.
Did you
really,
hear-
really cool.
Did you hear what she said about The Witcher recently?
She was glad that it's over.
Yeah, her statement about wanting to be done with The Witcher reminds me exactly of what Daniel Craig said about James Bond. He's like, I'd rather slit my wrists than do another James Bond. Like, that's how she sounded. She's like, I am just so tired and exhausted and ready for it to be over. Yeah, so good for her, and that show is glad that it's over. Yes, thank you all so much. And we're sort of at the end here anyway, so we can just there's nothing really breaking. And I'm so sorry.
We didn't even
Metal
finish.
Gear, is Metal Gear short? Is Metal Gear short? We can just do that. Is that an actual topic?
No, MBG just
Really
wants to
joke.
talk about Metal Gear because
Okay.
it's PlayStation.
No.
It's just
No,
Where's the
we
PNG
didn't
on that?
finish. Yeah, we
What
just
didn't
didn't
we
finish what I was trying to go through this list, but we all just kept getting off topic.
that's the
the
Renegade
point.
Realm podcast, baby. Well, run through the topics that you have written down. Just shoot them off.
Let's do a lightning round.
Okay, it's software. Next game will be at the showcase. Apparently, don't take that as fact.
Woohoo!
Year
Yes.
6 will be there. Question
gonna be
is,
Doom.
will it be?
And it will be there.
Gear 6 will be there. Just a question of how aggressive Microsoft is going to be with their marketing. They want to give it a release window, so that implies that it's close. They're just not sure if they want to do it yet.
I'm tired of release
PlayStation
windows.
Showcase. Agreed. PlayStation Showcase in May. Concord will be there. DeMarco will probably need to pay attention because that's actually another live service. So it will launch on PC day one. Holly will probably want to pay attention too if the leaks are true that new Astrobot game will be there, and apparently it's the biggest one that Team Asobi has done. And well, Grub did say that Sucker Punch is working on something new. That was deconfirmed by Jason Schreier.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason. I am so sorry. It's like,
An insider said something wrong.
That's
and
not
was
true.
corrected by another insider.
An insider said something incorrect. That's shocking. I would never believe it. That's impossible. What madness are you bringing onto this stream, assassin? Stop with your heresy and
Anyway.
lies.
Anyway, it sounds like the June showcase might be an actual big one, but I understand a lot of Bethesda content creators will not be watching because of what happened recently. So, oh well.
No, we'll still watch. We'll just be cranky about it.
I was talking about Arcane Realm. He hates Xbox now. So
Arcane will
much.
still watch. He'll just be cranky about it.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
I think
I asked
Arcane...
him. He said he's not going to.
Oh, well, never mind then. I take it back. Arcane is not going to watch it. I
Like,
never
I'm
said
pretty-
anything about him
Like,
watching
I'm pretty sure he's.
Stop putting
I'm
words
pretty
in my
sure
mouth. I never said that, assassin. I never said he was going to watch it. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Okay, that's fine. I think he genuinely wishes for Xbox to die more than Warner Brothers at this point, to be honest. Because at least Warner Brothers never hurt his studio. Hurt the studio he loves so much. Anyway,
Yeah.
Red, are we gonna watch the showcase still? 'Cause I know Holly will be at FanFest, so she can't do it.
Nah,
And
screw
DeMarco
Xbox.
refuses to join us.
Yeah, I hate you guys except on this podcast.
This is where he has to put on a show. No, we are
Yes.
absolutely going to be streaming the showcase. That and the very next day, isn't it? That Ubisoft is having a thing, right?
Monday. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yes. What about
So-
wait? What about Summer Game Fest too? Are we get, or do we not
On
care about Keeley?
Friday.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do
Yeah.
it too. Yeah. I'll be. This channel will
Like how
always
you make
stream.
it sound like a chore.
It's just that like
You're like, I'm excited for Xbox and I'm excited for you. Oh, okay. I guess we'll do Keeley too.
Yeah, it's just I feel like it needs to be done. And for anyone interested to watch along with us, we are not the type of streamer. We're not the type of YouTube channel that streams a showcase and yells and screams over the entire time. We are quiet. We might do like a oh or a oh or a bro, and that's pretty much it. But not in that order and not in not that tight together, like back to back. So we're not gonna be like, bro, bro,
To prove that
Well,
Red
that
is
didn't
a
sound
liar,
right,
go back and look at the Game Awards stream that we did a few months ago and just watch our reaction to Blade. That'll prove that he's lying.
Blade claim?
'Cause we
Oh
were
my
all
god,
streaming.
that takes me back.
Oh my god.
That takes me
Yes.
back. The
Right,
Blade
Holly?
claim.
The Blade claim?
Yep. That was a legendary moment.
Oh, we're
I
never
had good
gonna
content.
forget that.
In short bursts.
Colt says, "Red, come to LA." I
Arcane
can't
Stone's
afford it,
good with
man. I can't. I would love to.
He
Yeah,
just doesn't want you and me to do this podcast. That's what Colt wants. He doesn't want us
only
to
invited
live
you.
react with our own. With our yeah, he did. He only invited you. He
only
didn't say
invited you.
anything about DeMarco or me.
Or Holly.
This is how we know that you're the favorite. You
He just said,
fucking
"Hey, Red, spend $2,000." It was probably more than that. God, it's to come. Or it
During
was
that
probably-
time, everything goes up. They know that stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Red,
Months
you
in
and Colt did
advance.
not deny what I put in that clip last week. If you go back and look at when I zoomed in on you with the lip gloss thing that you had, did you read the print that I put there? Go back and watch the clip and go back to where I'm telling you, and pause it, read it, and then tell me that I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I don't remember. I'll have
Fine.
to go back. But
You'll have to go back and watch it.
sorry, I'm distracted because Colt says we can share a double bed, which that's all. I'm coming. I'll see you in a minute.
I can sit here for as long as he wants to play this bit out. I'm okay with this. Wondering how much he'll commit to it. Now he's gonna commit more because I know he has his headphones in. He can hear us wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's gonna go for it further. Anyway, are you guys excited for the Xbox event going on at all?
Holly, you go
was.
first.
Or is it just too tainted where you're going to be watching it with that lens, that filter over now?
I was very excited, but there's a few things going on that have me a little more concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the stuff last week, and then hearing that, there's probably more closures to come.
Right.
Repeatedly for a while. And that's not just Xbox, that's everybody. Some, being able to actually get into FanFest because the awards or, the announcements on who's winning is tomorrow. So, there's that.
Mhm.
And, it's just a different dynamic this year with ABK being part of Microsoft. So,
Right.
I'm interested to see what happens.
They're not getting their own showcase either, right? They're just... I know we actually talked about this on one of our past shows. I said they were going to lump it in the way they did Bethesda. Like they said with Bethesda, nope, you're part of Xbox now. You're on our stage floor. So Bethesda or BE3 was completely just trashed in favor of sharing a show floor. So I think they would do the same. They're gonna want Call of Duty front and center.
Well, Call
On
of
that
Duty's gonna be
Microsoft
that
stage.
direct that's after. That
Well, they
React
could still
thing
there's
after.
they would still have a presence for it, similar to what they did with Starfield, right? Where they had a separate event for Starfield afterwards, but that doesn't mean they ignored it completely.
Maybe, but
had a
they're
trailer
not
for
gonna
Starfield
They're not going to do the official announcement for it until the direct afterwards. I don't think, unless the only way I see them doing a little sneak peek kind of thing to get people excited for the Sunday thing is to do just a touch at the Keeleys, just a touch. But we shall see.
Andrew says the quiet is nice. You dick. Also, apologize if I'm blowing my mic And I laugh, ha ha, because I can see my volumes are a little loud. I'm very excited for the showcase.
Answering your... go ahead, Red, if you have more to say.
That's it. I'm still very excited about the showcase.
Me, on the other hand, I mean, look, but DeMarco, you and Red, you guys love Bethesda, Arcane, Jonas, so many people that I know personally love Bethesda. Like, seeing so many people within my inner circle just upset at the decision that Microsoft made with Tango and Arcane, I'm not gonna lie and say that it hasn't dampened my hype for the show, but I'm going to watch it not to give Microsoft the satisfaction. I'm going because I want to support the devs behind those games. I don't give a fuck about Phil Spencer or Matt Booty or Sarah Bond or any of the team up there. I care about the teams behind Fable. I care about the Playground devs. I care about id Software and Hugo Martin, his team. Whatever game that they're going to show. I care about the Coalition and their team. Gear 6, Darrow Gallagher and the Initiative, Perfect Dark. I care about those people. And those people's hard work, I'm not going to boycott it just because of some stupid decision that the higher-ups made. I mean, yes, I wish there was a way that we could successfully boycott or find a way around this, but there isn't. And I hate that. I hate that so much. So I'm just gonna go in as best as I can, just hype for the games, and not care about what's going on out there, at least for that day. But on a scale of 1 to 10 of how hyped I am, I'd say about an 8. I mean, bad news just keeps on coming. And if you didn't know, Xbox has been outsold 5-1 this quarter. So, they're doing worse than the Xbox One days in terms of sales. So, yeah, morale's at an all-time low. Also, where's the marketing for Hellblade 2? Anybody know? Anybody seen anything?
Ask MBG. He said that there's more marketing on his grandma's pumpkin pie.
Apple pies. Or
I don't know.
pies, yeah.
But I love that.
What
Yeah, a
the
lot of
fuck?
people in chat are saying. Stephen Avery said, "What's the point of watching the showcase with no chance at seeing Redfall 2?" And I'm just laughing because I'm assuming
okay.
he's kidding. But that was a funny joke. But if not, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of people in chat. That seems to be the consensus. Let's see, Nerds and Other Legends. I'm going to watch it for sure, but just too much drama over at Xbox. Crow13, what's up? Thank you for joining in here. Is saying, I'm sorry, I lost your hype, but not as hyped as I was before the bad news. If the Doom rumors are true, would it be at Keighley's announced as Multiplat or Xbox Showcase announced it as an exclusive? I think it would still be at the Xbox Showcase and advertised as an Xbox game, the same way that PlayStation has their PlayStation showcases. They show their trailers for games, and then you have to Google right after the show ends and say, was that game PlayStation only? No, it's coming to everything. It's just marketing rights, essentially. So I think that'll be the same thing with Doom. Doom will be at the Xbox Showcase if it's going to be anywhere. Yeah, my league. Oh, hey, it says buying and playing the game supports the devs. If half the people mad about this played their games, who wouldn't be here? I don't know. Maybe
He's got a point. He does.
you mean
he
like
does have a
instead
point.
of
Like I said,
instead of Game
no.
Pass, like actually bought and played it?
It's not our. We talked about this before. It's not our responsibility to buy these games. A and B. Hi-Fi Rush, that tiny little game, had what was it, 3 million players, or it did incredible numbers. The studio. When you look at the Xbox sending out these articles, we're going to continue to reinvest in Tango after the success of Hi-Fi Rush or after Redfall, and they put an article out that says people are still retweeting it days after this news, and they're still saying, hey, we aren't going to close down Arcane Austin, and they completely backtrack on that. I don't think you could turn around and say that people buying and playing the game, we wouldn't be in this situation, because they did with Hi-Fi Rush, and Tango's gone. So
Yeah. Nerds and Other Legends says Xbox told me supporting Game Pass was supporting the devs. Yeah. True. And that's exactly what DeMarco is saying. It's not our responsibility. If you're going to put your games there, we shouldn't have to worry about it. If it's not working, they're the ones who are paying the price. And we're still paying you money for a subscription service.
If the game you put on Game Pass is so good that people have to buy it, then that's great. But a lot of developers, what they have said, do not match what they mean. They say, we want as many players playing our game as possible. What they're really saying is, we want as many players to buy our game as much as possible. You either gotta stop saying it, or you gotta do what you say.
It depends on the type of game. If it's a live service game, then you're not really as worried about sales because I mean, the sales still matter. Don't get me wrong, but you're also trying to just get people into your game to buy into the microtransactions. Like a Pal World, I think, is on Game Pass, right? That's a perfect example of that. I don't know if it has microtransactions. I never played Pal World, but
Crow says I actually do believe it was bad timing in the close.
Okay, not a good example,
I'm sorry.
but no, go on.
Crow says, I actually do believe it was bad timing and close the studios that were in a pitching phase. Had it happened a few years ago or after, then it could have been other studios instead. And I think
it was a lot of things, and that's part of it. It's that plus the economy is not in a great place.
Yep.
Plus the game costs more. It's just the cycle.
How many Call of Duty studios are there? 4?
3.
There's
3.
Well,
Sledgehammer.
main, and then there's support.
Yeah.
There's 3, and then
you're
there's
telling me you can't.
one-
You're looking at consolidation. You're telling me you can't. I know that's their biggest game. I understand completely, but you're telling me that there's no room for consolidation there. That you need to close Tango Gameworks. That's like 100 something people, and you have to close it entirely. That's
Right.
that's-
Exactly.
I'm not
And-
Are you
saying
really
that I don't think
suggesting
that
that they
there are
should have
different
closed an
decisions
Activision
that could
studio?
have been made.
Are
What was
you
it, Holly?
suggesting they should have closed an Activision studio?
I'm not saying
Instead
they
of
should have
Tango?
closed. I'm not saying they should have closed any studio. But I think
know
that
what you
if part of the problem comes into the fact that this is an issue because they bought Activision Blizzard and they're trying to fill a $70 billion hole because of that purchase, that a studio like Tango, which just released a massively successful game, should not be the one that's impacted. I think it was just a fiscally irresponsible decision to buy a studio for $70 billion if we're gonna like take it back to where the source is, but
Holly?
I was waiting.
No, I mean, Arcane is my favorite studio, so obviously this affects, me in a different way, right? Than just, these studios closed and all that stuff. But I agree, there are different ways to handle things, but I think from a business perspective, which is not always the right perspective, but from a business perspective, they probably went, this studio needs to hire people, both of them, because they're kind of in the same position right now, right? Both of them want to hire a bunch of new people. Both of them are 4 to 7 years out from the next game that's going to come out. And Jill, don't remember her name, of ZeniMax, right, proper, said that they were top heavy and they were going to topple over, right? So it's almost like, Microsoft has said, we let you guys do what you want. We try not to get too involved, but they check in with them and all that stuff. And there's been arguments in the background, right? Like whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But taking that aside, people aren't spending money on games like they used to. Studios bulked up during COVID, right? Because everybody was home playing games and it was a time to spend money and to hire people because everybody was also working from home. So it's easy to hire people when you don't have to onboard them in the office, et cetera, right? But now that people aren't gaming as much, people don't have as much disposable income, games also cost more to make, all of those things are going the opposite directions. So business-wise, ZeniMax was in trouble internally with their budget, and they said, well, all of these studios are making Elder Scrolls. They're making Fallout. Like, these are the big money makers. So, and Indiana Jones is a big money maker. You know what I mean? Like, they just looked at, here's what's
Like-
on ZeniMax. They're all financially going to have a return soon. And these two studios are 4 to 7 years out from bringing any profit in. And they're looking to increase their budgets on top of that to make games. Right or wrong, that's just what happened.
Really well said, Holly. Wow.
Your
I don't know
facts
how
are
to
logical,
follow-
and I don't like them.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I'm not
Take your-
saying
take
you're
your
good.
logic,
I hate it.
I'm just
Pack it up in a
saying
box, get it the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm still
And
gonna murder your
return to me when you've lit your torch and you've sharpened your pickaxe and you're ready to go to war.
Yes. Let us know. When...
See, the thing about this, I mean, Holly's right. She's right completely. Logically, business-wise, we all hate it. But here's what I don't get. You just acquired Activision Blizzard. It hasn't even been a year yet. You haven't released a new Call of Duty yet. King is still making a shit ton of money. You're gonna get a lot of revenue from COD. Couldn't have waited at least a bit until after COD came out and that money came in? You couldn't have waited until you look at the financial report next year and say, oh my gosh, we just got a shit ton of more money. You know what, Tango? You know what, Arcane Austin? We can approve your budget. Just don't overdo it. You couldn't have waited a little bit here. I mean, for God's sakes, you have 3 moneymakers. You have Minecraft, you have COD,
I mean, come
and you have
on.
King.
But it doesn't quite work like that.
I know it doesn't.
And
that's
their
not-
fiscal
that's-
year ends in a month.
I know
And
it doesn't,
that's
but it
when their
needs to.
books
Oh, God.
that's when their
it's
books
still-
are finished. That's when they're budgeting for the next year. So that's another part of the problem.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of, we've already talked about it on the last show and stuff, but it's still, there's a lot of things. You look at how profitable Microsoft is as a company. You look at, you know, the salaries of these executives, as people, you know, others have said, and we've said on the show. You look at just the, you know, the fact that, and sure, this went from Microsoft is sending the decision down to Xbox, so it's not maybe Xbox or Phil Spencer's decision, but you look at what they've said about these studios in the past. You look at the fact that they had games that could have been profitable coming with a Hi-Fi Rush sequel, or with you know, a Prey sequel that could have turned a profit there, to hold on to these studios just for some time, you know. And I think maybe it was Angry Joe Show that I saw this, but when the benchmark gets raised to what is a profitable game, and now you just bought Activision and you have Call of Duty under your belt, so now the bar of what a profitable game is, and I forgot who said this, but the bar of what a profitable game is now up here. So that little tiny Hi-Fi Rush game, that would have been good before Call of Duty entered into the room, and now you're saying, well, it's not making this much money, it's only making this much money, and I want this. So
And they have
every
a
game
ledger to
has to
pay
reach
back.
this level. So there's a lot of just, there's a lot of factors. I haven't seen anybody make a good video that considers all of these just from an unbiased perspective, and it would be interesting to get someone to dive into that level. But at the moment, I think everyone's just sort of fueled too much by what's going to generate clicks, because that kind of rationality doesn't do it, and that's absolutely part of the problem as well. But B, it's just it's too new to have all
And
the
there's-
data, the facts about it.
There's frankly a lot of stuff you'll never know too. Like,
That's
we're
a
all
huge part of it,
suspecting
yep.
that Microsoft leadership is directing
Passing
down.
that down.
You don't know to what degree, you don't know at all, or if it's everything or what, right? And all of that also is decisions that weigh into it that we'll never know.
Right, of course. Yeah, and anyway, no, that's all.
Yeah.
I think it's been exhausted.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Like
Like you, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We went a little bit over. Oh my God, I just screwed everything up. No, I didn't. No one saw what I did. Anyway, hey, it's been a good show tonight, and I wanted to thank everyone so much for coming out. I'm really happy to see all the people, and we're getting more and more subscribers. Just because of the podcast, which means we're getting more and more people in chat, which in turn means that we're getting more and more conversation, and I love to see everyone interacting, because I do want to see pushback as far as different opinions and people disagreeing with each other. The fact, the point of having a conversation is, you're getting new perspectives, and you're doing it positively. You're having a conversation. You're not yelling at each other in chat, and I just wanted to say how much I appreciate that, because I've seen a lot of people talking back and forth and people disagreeing with us, and it's fantastic, and I love it so much. Noise says the wrong convo, Ted. Okay, well, fantastic. But yeah, just being positive and being nice to each other, even whenever you're disagreeing, is a lot to ask for these days, believe it or not, especially when you are on the internet and you put a lot of time and effort on the internet, like we do as content creators. It's exhausting, mentally and emotionally, when people are just yelling at you and screaming at you all the time because you like Starfield or whatever it might be. But so
because
thank you guys. Or Mario, exactly, yes. So I sincerely wanted to thank you guys so much for just being here, and it really means a lot to all of us. We love you, and we love you a lot. So DeMarco, tell people where you're at and how you just fired up your new channel called DeMarco Dude.
DeMarco Dude 3. Yeah, it's the third iteration of the channel now.
Okay, yeah.
This one is, it's not, there's not much to it. This one is all just footage of my hand close up. It's a wide angle lens.
Your feet.
No,
And your foot.
I mean, I'd make more money on that, but no,
That's
it's
true.
just my hand, wide angle lens, and it's just touching grass, and it's like 30-minute videos of that. So if you're interested, you could see the new
Very ASMR.
Rebirth.
Do you talk to your grass real deep and
You're like,
No, I haven't. I'm too
freshly
nervous
mowed.
to put my voice on camera at the
Trimmed.
moment. So I'm building up to that. But I know with the support of great friends like Red and Holly that eventually I'll put myself on
3-inch,
camera
clip
because
like
it's a
this
good
one.
decision and everybody would love to see
That's
it.
right. Everybody would love to see
Everybody would love to see more people on camera, so I'm working my way up
Yeah.
to it, and I
Yes.
know with the support that it'll be super welcomed and appreciated,
so
and it'll be a
much
really good
support here.
time. And
Friggin'
it's a
support.
So
great
much
way to
support.
stay in shape.
It's a great way to stay in shape. Exactly. Yes.
Well,
Yes,
DeMarco,
exactly.
I'm glad you feel that way. I hope you keep being on camera.
Yeah, Assassin, when will you be on camera, and where can people find you on camera?
Okay, respectfully, fuck y'all.
it.
You can find
All
me
right,
on Twitter.
Come on, that
Holly-
was a
in
good.
the link in
Don't
the
say that. That was a
description
good
down
bit. That was a
It was
good
good.
bit.
It was really good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
Peer pressure.
You can find me on Twitter in the link in the description down below. I'm actually going to start. I got a few
Using it
days
this game.
off. So, shut up. I'm actually going to focus on one game and one game in particular. I have no idea which one I'm going to focus
Gears.
on. But
Years, yeah.
nah,
Decisions
it's no.
made.
No.
I need the
I
staples
would love to
button.
cover
That
Gear
was
6.
easy.
I would love to cover Gear 6, but that's the problem. That's why Red's Dragon's Dogma 2 video failed. Because he put it so close to
Thanks,
Dragon's
Assassin.
Dogma 2's
Right?
Thanks so much, bud.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself.
No,
that
I
it
didn't.
failed.
No, I did. I just love how you bring it up. You're like, and that's why Red sucks. No, go
Way
ahead.
to put that up there.
No. Hey, at least you put out a video. And recently.
Yeah, my next
Yeah.
video will be Dragon Age related, but yeah, I'm excited to see your next video, Assassin. You
Yeah,
need to go, bro.
I mean,
you need to go back to that
What?
one specific episode. There is so much in that one episode that you need that you could pull from. Like, holy shit. Every episode has something.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
yeah, I know. It's just, I mean, picking which game I want to cover. I mean, this is a big step for me. I don't know which one. I mean,
Yes.
Gears makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But anyway,
I've
Twitter,
heard going on
linked it in the
camera helps
description
to
down
make
below.
These types of decisions.
It does.
You know what else? You know what else helps DeMarco Dunce? I stop talking about it. That also helps.
So the less we talk, the more you'll come on camera. I don't know why I paused.
That
when I
is
said
not what I said.
that. Okay.
Why did you pause?
I don't know why I paused when I said that. I was trying to think about what I was. Anyway, I am 14
Oh my
tomorrow.
God.
Matt Haas, please God, tell me you're not 14. You're not 13 years old. Jesus Christ. You go rethink
tell
my
me.
life. Anyway, that's fine. Matt Haas, if that's true, then happy birthday. And please don't be playing this when your parents are in the room. Because they'll report
come
us.
on, Colt.
Red, I'm starting my third playthrough on Cyberpunk. Dude, let it be the last. Go out with a bang. Do an everything playthrough. Holly started and then she gave
his
up
last
too.
one.
So she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. The same thing recently, or soon.
Holly,
recently.
what are you up to?
Yeah, Holly.
Yeah, Holly.
Found.
Yeah.
I'm that blue number. Or that's it.
Oh
Thanks.
my god.
I shipped a whole bunch of Hellblade coins.
Oh my god, that's my favorite.
It just won't. My camera will never.
That's more marketing than they've done for Hellblade. Right there.
That's true.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah,
that
can we talk
3
about that
seconds.
for just a brief second?
No,
The
we
fact
all
that
know.
I actually made a
No.
trailer for Hellblade 2?
Oh, yeah, good job. That's cool.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did that.
thank you. You didn't see it.
Thank
I
you.
didn't see it. You put the you had the text over the footage. I saw it.
Oh. I didn't tag you, so I just assumed you didn't see it. Anyway, moving on.
I pay attention to you, Assassin,
Okay.
because I care. I care about you, Assassin.
Oh, bro, let's go. Oh, Yodani just dropped the best song. This is so good. This is so good. All right, so to close out the show, Assassins, got to sing this. A $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Yodani. Really appreciate that. Assassin song. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
Oh my god, no.
Yep.
Fucking Rickroll me.
And the thing is, last week, you said, fuck you, Yodani. Fuck you. You didn't sing happy birthday. You just denied him all the way around. All the way around. So you owe it this time.
Alright,
So
fine,
you
let me
can
go
go
pull it up
through-
on YouTube for a second.
And you know this one. And you know this one. I mean, he just put the
I
lyrics
do, but
right
I
up
want to
there.
actually... I know,
Yeah,
but I
you're
want to
calling
actually
in-
hear the song
That is
as I'm
not
singing
okay.
it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fair. All right, everyone just start
Andrew.
clapping in chat. Let me see some clap emojis in chat just to get him
Hey,
geared
me,
up.
Ollie.
What'd you say?
What are you talking about? It's what I've always done.
No, I think we need to. I can't delete it because of the freaking heart.
Oh, the heart is the
Christ.
devil.
Keep talking for 1 second. Alright, keep talking for a
Okay.
minute.
True77 is giving praying hands, like, please do it. Yeah, everyone is clapping you on, bro. They're giving you the clap, and it's the good kind. And luckily, we do have some background music on the podcast that we can't hear, but there's not really too much dead air, other than the kind that DeMarco's breathing right now, because he's like, I am so ready to be done
Alright.
with the show.
I'm ready.
All
Alright, I
right,
need
here
you
we
all to
go.
shut up. I need all of you guys to shut up for a minute.
All right, I'm actually gonna mute the show music. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Let me actually go back up to it. How far? Okay, alright, fine. Oh god, what am I doing with my life?
Still waiting.
3. Yeah, shut up. I get it, okay? Know the rules, and so do I. Oh god, ow, 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 fucking hell.
That's not part of the
Not
lyrics.
the words.
What are you doing?
Happened to our friend.
Would you stub your toe?
Oh, fucking Charlie's horse. God. Oh,
Charlie's horse. I never heard it said like that before. Charlie's horse.
Shut up. Shut up. Charlie's horse.
I've been re-virginized.
Pre-virginized. Yes. Chuck's pony. Okay, go ahead,
Oh
Assassin.
God, ow. Oh God. Man.
All right, come on.
Oh God.
The people need the dulcet tones.
I need to
Oh,
go
they
to bed,
don't.
Assassin, please.
Come on.
Fine.
Falsetto gives you cramps. Chat is blowing up for you right now. Rick Astley would never cuss.
Commitments, but you know, you wouldn't get this. Meaning of it. Okay, well, how I'm feeling.
Sing it louder.
Make you understand. All right, I'm done. Marco. go
No,
to
you
bed.
didn't even get to the main chorus. Come on, you didn't even get to the main.
No, no,
Never gonna
no.
let you
Hol-
down. Never
no.
gonna turn
No, Donnie did not
around.
include the chorus, so no. He did not include the chorus, so no.
That's fair enough.
Gob.
Now, can
Fair
we
enough.
end this so DeMarco can get to bed?
Yeah,
That way he
use
doesn't
me-
turn into.
Use me as the excuse, Assassin.
Right?
All right, I'm gonna turn the music
You're
back
damn
on.
right it will, DeMarco Narco.
Glory, man united. I love it. I love people that are jumping in here late. I'm sorry if you guys missed the show. Watch it on the replay. And something that I have been told recently, and I even heard like on ACG podcast, if you guys, when the show ends tonight, hang out, leave a comment. You can say whatever the hell you want. I don't care what you say. Just say something in the comments. It helps the channel massively huge, as Colt would say, and I would really appreciate it. It really helps the engagement and helps the channel get into the algorithm and all that fun stuff. So please do that. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, we're gonna get the shunk out of here. Massively huge. Thank you all so much. We will see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone. Oh God, what have I done?
I should go.
My leg is still in pain.
Thanks. Thank you. I've been going to the gym. I appreciate it. You noticed? That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Okay.